Disclaimer. We are two regular guys who love to talk Bone Thugs and Harmony. We do not represent Bone Thugs or any Bone affiliate. We are also not Bone Thugs experts. The views and information you hear in this podcast may be based on personal opinion. Please feel free to leave corrections and clarifying information in the comments. And enjoy. What's up, y'all? It's Cecil West, Beyond the Harmony, beyondtheharmony.com. Riding solo tonight. Welcome to the West Side. Just something I was doing out of boredom. Little technical difficulty. We had a bunch of viewers during the pre-show, and I had a little dropout. Motherfucking YouTube. So happy about that. I'm riding solo tonight. Who knows how long this will last? Maybe really short-lived. I was just bored. I said, hey, I'm going to pop on. I'm going to see who's going to call in, see if we can talk a little Bone Thug, and just catch up. I'm trying to get back in the swing of doing Thug Thursday. I'm going to do a real quick audio check. All right, sounds like it's doing great. Yeah, so I'm trying to get back into the groove, I guess, of doing Thug Thursday. We're getting ready to, I would say, start working on another season. We've been talking a lot about it, what that means, and the guests, what that means, what the format's going to be like. If we get a few more viewers in here and stuff, we'll talk a little bit about what the format's going to be like. I'm definitely looking to talk to some people tonight, and if you want to call in, actually I got to update. Let me do that real quick. I got to update the meeting ID for y'all. The meeting ID tonight on Zoom is 820-3684-2823. Again, that's 820-3684-2823. And I'm going to update it down in the ticker as well. We'll see how I do tonight. Anytime I'm trying to do this like extra work, it's good to have John and Matt here. They kind of like fill the void while I'm doing this work on the side, but I think I can handle it all. So yeah, if you guys want to call in, I would love to talk to you. Go ahead and share this link. Help me out. Like I said, we had a bunch of viewers, and the way that YouTube works is starting back-to-back lives isn't good for the algorithm. A lot of your viewers don't see it, and my first live crashed, unfortunately. And so here we are now trying to do another live. I'm going to go ahead and actually what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to post this. I'm going to post this on the YouTube board. I know a lot of you watch the YouTube Beyond the Harmony board. So let me just update you. Besides us trying to get Thug Thursday off the ground and going again, I'll tell you a couple things I've had going on. I've been just doing, that I collect on the side. I collect the things that I love. Some of them are rare. Some of them are not rare at all. But I do a little bit of collecting, and I've been talking to John a bunch, and I think I've brought this up too about a segment I'd like to do, which is basically just showing off like one piece of Bone Thug memorabilia. And this is something that I'd like to do with everybody, not just me showing off my shit, but like everybody. It's easy to make a video now. If you got a cell phone, you can make a video. And yeah, I would just like to see everybody's stuff, just one thing. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It's just got to be something that you enjoy. And that's it. Show it off, talk about it. One of the things that I just recently got was the Resurrection Paper promo single. It's nothing special. It's not worth, a ton of money. But it's one of those things I've always wanted in my collection. I haven't got it yet. I haven't got this yet, but I'm pumped. I got the Thugs Cry single. It's coming from Japan. If you guys remember, Japan's the same place where I got my pristine copy of the 93 Faces of Death. So Japan holding on to some of the gems. I've told a few new collectors the luck that I've had getting things out of Japan. So let's post this up. I'm live now. Let's post that up. Boom. Okay. See if we can get a few more people in. Yeah, it's too bad that this that live shit out on us like that. The first one was really doing great. Really doing great. But yeah, so I got the Thugs Cry live. Or I got the Thugs Cry single, rather. And I'm waiting for that to come in the mail. I just ordered... What the fuck else did I just order? I just got the Flesh and Bone World So Cruel promo single. And I was pumped about that. I just won it. I don't know if you guys ever saw the BB Gambini poster that I have, but I did all the matting and framing on it. And I got a few of those projects. I've been saying I'm going to do them now that I'm moved into my new place, and I just haven't set up to do them. But I ordered some more posters, right, to mat and frame, even though I have like a million things to mat and frame. I ordered some new shit. What did I get? I got a Thug World Order poster. That was really dope. I recently got a Flesh and Bone Fifth Dog Let Loose poster. So, couple rando items, but I love that shit. So, besides that, I've just been paying attention a little bit to what's going on with Bone. Last time we had a live, we talked about Leaves of Legends, and I've since played it again. I still enjoyed it this next time through. I don't think that anybody's ever going to compare this to Thug Mentality or anything like that, but it was still enjoyable. It was still enjoyable my second time through, or I guess that would have been my third time through. It was still enjoyable, so I thought that was pretty good, that it was holding its weight. The thing about it is it's a weed album. You can't go into it expecting more than weed songs. And I know what you guys are thinking. You're like, Cecil, there's classic Bone weed songs. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But this had all the vibes. This had all the vibes to really smoke out. So let's see. I think I got another podcast calling me in. Let's see what's this. The Hip Hop Spot podcast. Let's bring them in. What's up, man? Y'all will be on the Harmony. Oh, I see you in here. I don't see you with a microphone, though. What's good? No mic, no video. You killing me, son. Killing me. Hip Hop Spot podcast. All right, fix your mic, bro. Call me back in. We'll talk. We'll talk some hip hop. All right. So far we had one failed call-in. I just wish Bone Thugs and Harmony or just come to New York City so I can go to a concert. Yeah, I mean, we've had COVID and stuff, Eddie. So I think shows are coming back around, and New York is definitely a hotspot. So I'm sure, I can't say I'm sure, but I'm relatively sure we'll see Bone back in New York. What lineup that is, who the fuck knows what that means. But I think we'll see Bone back in New York. Let's post this in the Bone Cult. Shout out to my boy Blaze. All right. We'll just try to gear some people up. If you're on Facebook, if you're part of Bone groups, anything like that, help me out. Let's share the link. Like I said, we were live once, and we had a great thing going, and then the live quit. And it substantially hurts when you go live a second time. If you guys want to call in The Zoom ID is 820-3684-2823. It's scrolling at the bottom of your screen. You can also find it in the description. Call in. Let's talk some bone. Let's see if the Hip Hop Spot podcast fixed their shit. Hip Hop Spot podcast. I see you trying to call in. You got no mic. You got no video. You got to fix that. All right. We'll keep checking in with them. I hope they fix it. Looks like they got their own show. I saw them post a few questions in the first live. If there's something you guys want to talk about, even if you don't want to call in, post it in the comments. What's next for Bone? Will they come back strong? Interesting. It's interesting to think about because, right before COVID, I thought that they were starting to drum up some good momentum. Believe it or not, little things like the Buffalo Wild Wings Boneless Thugs, I thought was so good for them. I thought that was like, a kind of viral thing to happen. It was funny. It had some humor to it without it like making fun of Bone. You see them use these 90s guys sometimes, I would say, in a fashion that, Sir Mix-a-Lot, you guys probably saw the ice cream scoop, there it is shit. Like, that shit's kind of corny and I think makes fun of an artist. So I thought the Boneless Thugs thing was very tasteful. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was kind of like good momentum for him. And I think that Bone always comes back pretty strong. They got a core fan base. So do I think Bone is coming back so strong that they're going to have like this 2021 resurgence and, they're going to redo the Crossroads and all this shit? I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying no because you never know. It takes one fucking song. And even though they're older, it's like with the market the way it is, it's like Bone's style still fits in today. So it's like, is it impossible for them? Fuck no. But who knows? But I do think they come back strong, at least for the core. Their core fans really appreciate them, and we go after whatever they do live, whatever albums they put out. I'm really hoping that we see some Bone Thug music in 2021. That's kind of what I'm holding out for. I know that that's kind of like, that's what everybody's holding out for. You know what I'm saying? That's what everybody's holding out for is where the fuck are the Bone songs? And, that's what I need in my life. I'm over these fucking solos. Leaves of Legends was cool, but I'm over all this bullshit. Give me some fucking real Bone Thugs and Harmony songs. And we talked about this a little before, but I was like, even if they don't have Busy, it's like I want Busy Bone in all the fucking songs. I'd rather have Busy in all the fucking songs. But if we can't, like if we're not, let's go. Let's get it without him. That is what it is. And maybe they're working more in the background than we know. It's weird because it always kind of seems like they're not, and then Busy indicates that they are. So it's like, what the fuck is really going on? I don't know. Busy is doing the best at like the brand building. I know not everybody loves the GMTV shit and everything like that, but Busy continues to grow his brand. In fact, he saw the power of a platform like YouTube, and now he recognizes it and does more with it than ever. He used to go live from his Instagram and shit like that for hours, and then he realized, I'm going to make the most money. I'm going to get super chats. I'm going to get donations. I'm going to get ad revenue from going live on YouTube. And now he basically goes live on Instagram and his other platforms to say, tune into my YouTube. So the guy is brand building, and he has been brand building for a while. And I think it's kind of all led up to this 2021 super busy movement that we're seeing. He's talking about producing his album. He's talking about producing a Bloodline album. So it's like everything has been building up to this moment. I think that while that builds, and then we see the direction that Bone and the other four members are going, because let's face it, it doesn't even look like all four of the other members are headed necessarily in the same direction. I don't think that means there's turmoil or like they're negatively moving in different directions. I just see Flesh doing certain shit, Crazy doing certain shit. So it's like, can they all collectively get together and do this? It's going to be tough because Busy's strongly headed in one direction. And I don't know if the rest of them are headed there. I do think a guy like dude, I think Lazy Bone will be all about it if we get Lazy and Busy sitting down. I think Lazy would see the money that Busy sees. You know, who the fuck knows, man? I think it's hard right now. They got to split that bag 5 ways, so it's hard to be in a group like that, in my opinion. Have any of you ever heard of how Wu-Tang members are paid in different tiers? And depending on which Wu-Tang member it is, some of them make more than others, which is crazy to me, but they all agreed on the system. It's insanity. I mean, I guess it's not insanity. I guess it's fair. Do you guys believe that would be beneficial for Bone to do so that it was easier to break the bag up? Or do you feel like, no, they all got to be paid equally? We got to split this bag equally amongst 5? Or do you think that the Wu-Tang system could work and it would allow a guy like Busy Bone, who should probably make more than... It's debatable if he should make the most or if he maybe he falls behind Crazy. Him and Lazy maybe in a tie for second. Who the fuck knows, right? I think that's where it gets complicated. I don't know how Wu-Tang worked that shit out. It's amazing to me. But would a situation like that allow for them to do it more? Because at this point, it's pretty clear that this is money that's holding shit up. Let's take a look here. Damn, too bad I'm stuck at work at the moment. Turok's in here. Congratulations, you two. Let's see. I spent all day watching DJ Quick videos. Jonathan Lippy in the chat. Trainwreck. I love the solo stuff. The group is needed. Bone dropped 4 solo albums in 2020-21. People ask, when's the album coming out? Sugar Free in the Nobody video with DJ Quick. I don't see a Bone agreeing to that. Yeah, I don't think Bone would agree to that either. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of throwing it out as a... you know, a what if kind of thing. What in the fuck is going on here? I don't know how YouTube flagged this live for some kind of copyright shit. Oh, YouTube. Maybe it was my last one it caught. The one that shit out. Oh, Crazy and Busy made more for their Everything 100 verses than Wish made. Yeah, well, it's like Wish would barely get paid. Right, and that's the issue, right? It's like, but Wish does deserve to get paid. Should Wish be paid the same money as Busy or Crazy? It's like, I don't know. Internally as a group, they probably agree yes. Externally as fans, it's like you can see that may not be the case. Let's see. The Hip Hop Spot podcast still in here. Let's see if he's fixed his shit. I don't believe he has. Let's see if we can get him to start any of this shit up. If you guys want to call in, it's literally just me rambling, so I'm down to talk to whoever tonight. We can talk whatever. We're talking Bone right now. It's 820-36-84-28-23. Scrolling at the bottom. It's in the description. 820-36-84-28-23. Call in on Zoom. Let's talk some Bone Thugs. Let's talk whatever. I was saying at the beginning of the show, and again, I just want to say, by the way, that our original live got kicked off. I had to start a new one. It fucks the algorithm up. So if you can share this to any Bone groups you're in, anything like that, it'll help put the word out. But I was saying at the beginning of the show that we are gearing up, hopefully, for season 4. We've started to talk to some guests. We are talking about another format change. I know in season 3 you guys saw a format change, and we're talking about another format change. And let me know what you guys think of this. We're basically thinking that every Thug Thursday will be live, just like this, including the interviews. I won't be taking calls for the guest, or very rarely will I be taking calls for the guest. Maybe at the end, something like that. But we'd take questions in the chat, and we would basically run it like we run Thug Thursdays, but it'd be live. It would happen right here, completely unedited, raw. As it happens, you guys will hear it. You know, in the lives that can sometimes make for some complications. It can sometimes make for some bombshells. There's a lot that happens live. But that's what we're thinking about doing for season 4, is bringing you guys the live interviews, doing the shit for season 4 like that. So we've been wondering what everybody would think of that. When does every season officially start on the show? Whenever the fuck we want. There's no set anything. We took a year off before. Right now we've only been on a few months, and I'm feeling charged up. So it's really about when we feel good about jumping back in and doing it again. And this live format that I'm talking about doing kind of gives us the ability to, I guess, prevent the burnout, because we just jump on here. And that's it. We're live. We're doing it. I don't have to post edit. I don't have to do any of that. And that's why we're thinking the live. Plus, I like the idea of it. On top of that, I like the idea of it. So we're thinking about going live for season 4. If you want to call in, talk some Bone Thugs with me, it is 820-3684-2823. You can find it in the description. You can find it scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Call in via Zoom. Let's talk about things. I've had the Hip Hop Spot podcast sitting in the waiting room for the last, 10 plus minutes, asking them to fix their mic. Let's see if they've done it yet. Let's see if the Hip Hop Spot podcast has fixed their shit. In the meantime, any of you can call in. Let's talk some bone. John says it's when Cecil isn't touring. It's true. Shows are starting to pick back up. And as some of you may know, I promote shows. I book touring acts. I also tour with artists that I manage myself. Okay, I can see a face now. You got no mic. I see a face, though. I see a face. Let's see. All right. You got nothing. Says your bandwidth is low. You may want to jump on Wi-Fi, bro. Jump on Wi-Fi. Restart your phone. All right. Well, we've been trying. We've been trying with him. I want to try with y'all. Make sure you call in. Let's talk a little Bone Thugs. I'm bored. What are you guys excited about? I know that shows are opening back up. Let me take a look. Let me see what's been going on, what people are talking about. What are people talking about? I had a bunch of messages recently. Looks like Flesh and Bone's got an interview coming up soon with Cards Face Up podcast. I don't know what the fuck that is. It says it's Marjay Moon, which is who works with the Harmony God. I think it's his manager or something, so maybe it's theirs. What else we got? Checking comments. Much love from Cincinnati. Jason Craig, what's up? I watched Cecil's live show in his personal life too, so this is entertaining listening to at the gym. Yeah, man, I'm just fucking babbling right now, but I said I was so bored, and I did this, and I was like, okay, let's hope somebody calls in, wants to talk some Bone Thugs with me. You know what? I'm going to call random I'm going to call random people. Let me see who I can invite in. I'm on my list. Does any Bone member have a song they wish made it to an album that did not? I mean, I bet they do. I can't think of one personally, but that long sleeve Beyond the Harmony sleeve for Johnny. Okay. Yeah, Johnny wants me to design a Beyond the Harmony long sleeve podcast of death shirt. I'm happy to oblige. Anytime there's any kind of Beyond the Harmony merch, if we don't make it already that you guys are looking for, a certain style or certain logo, anything like that, I'm down. Hit me up. Oh, looks like Lost Archives, the reissue came out. I don't understand. Okay. Somebody explain to me. And it looks good. It looks real good. The artwork for it looks real good. I don't know if Cody Hillier redid it or they used just the original artwork and just updated it some. But, okay. The fucking... Lazy Gear is reissuing what appears to be collector's favorites. It appears to be collector's favorites, right? So Lost Archives was rare. I saw an ad that they were going to reissue the E1999 Eternal fucking clean version, which is rare and people want it, right? But who the fuck wants a reissue? Who wants a reissue of a clean album from 95? Like, the entire purpose of it is that it's a rare, hard to find album from 95 that was only sent was only sent to radio. So who the fuck wants just a reprint made in 2021? I don't understand the logic there. Just, it doesn't add up. The Lost Archives, maybe I see that a little more. The fucking clean version they're talking about doing, I'm lost. They need Steve LaBelle back as their manager. I think that's 50-50. I can agree to that to a point. I saw a post by Jordan Corey and Cody Hillier about their orders. Yeah, I saw that as well. Looks like there's been a lot of issues over at Lazy Gear. Are there any unreleased Eazy-E Bone collabs that will come out in the future? I don't think so, man. I've heard Busy Bone say that that's pretty much a wrap, that's all they had. We know that there's the Mr. Bill Collector sitting on a tape somewhere, So I think it was Ruthless Propaganda or somebody was selling it for like stupid money. Somebody put the money up. You could own the fucking a telephone quality version of Mr. Bill Collector with Bone and Eazy-E. That was under Ruthless, not Harmony House. Busy also said there's more. Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's Hunter 2847 said, and that was under Ruthless, not Harmony House. Exactly. And I have no idea. Maybe Lazy has won the rights to a bunch of shit like Mo Thug to do the greatest hits. I saw that he recently put Family Scriptures up on like Spotify and shit. He's gonna put out Eternal. At least it said, maybe they haven't made a move at that yet, but I remember seeing a flyer that also featured Lost Archives and like Bone for Life and shit like that. Does he have the ability to put out things that were on Ruthless, or is he just kind of like, fuck it, gonna do it? Busy said there was like 6 probably. He said around 04. I don't know if who else that could handle them. Yeah, so here's the deal, right? It's like, that's probably what Steve LaBelle does best about them, is he knows how to handle them. That's something that other managers haven't been able to do. We've seen motherfuckers come and go. People don't know how to handle these guys. Steve LaBelle does do that well. Was he making all the best business decisions for Bone? I guess debatable. Debatable. But if after that much time and these 5 guys, it's like, what is the right decision? I think that the guy's trying to make the best decision in a situation where there is truly no best decision. I mean, in your opinion, what is the best decision for Bone? In fantasy management camp, in fantasy management camp, you're now Bone Thugs and Harmony manager. What is the first thing that you do? What's the first thing that you do? Jason Craig, I know it isn't Bobby Francis. As a fact, Jack, Rock Nation management, I don't think so. I mean, so Rock Nation would be good because of the clout that it has. But, like, can those guys handle Bone Thugs and Harmony? I have no fucking idea. I guess the opportunities would be as plentiful as possible over there. So there's that. I mean, lots of opportunity if they got over there. Before COVID, I saw that they did a Uncle Snoop's Army signing of some kind, which I think was for live shows, and I thought that was great. Release all of their albums to streaming, put them out on a tour to celebrate their legacy. That's easier said than done, though. What do you mean by all their albums? Because Ruthless controls all that shit. That's such an issue, I would say. It's like that's an easier said than done thing when we're playing fantasy management, which is, oh, I would just do this. Well, they don't own so much of their shit that it's crazy. That's crazy. So, that's a nice fucking thought, but I think that that's like impossible in a lot of ways. Jack all their albums from Tamika. Yeah, that's what we'd all like to do, man. All that unreleased shit. You imagine if Tamika just opened the vault. And isn't that the craziest thing is, I'm sure Tamika's not like rich at this point. I mean, maybe she's still living high off the Eazy-E shit, but you would have thought that by now she would have been like, I'm going to fucking release some of this Bone shit that I got. I'm going to release some of this Bone shit that I got, and she hasn't. 820-3684-2823. Call me on Zoom. Let's talk some Bone. 820-3684-2823. It's scrolling on the bottom of the screen. You can also catch it in the description. Give me a shout on Zoom. Let's talk some Bone. Bone. They should be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's in their own backyard. Get them a few collabs to reintroduce them to a new audience. Get all 5 to be on the same page together with the same vision. I mean, that's easy to say. How do we do that, though, right? Well, how do we do that? It's like that's what we want, but how do we do that exactly? I would go to the store and buy copies of the album if they were to re-record some of their albums like Taylor Swift has done. Yeah, well, okay. Crazy Bone talked about re-releasing Thug Mentality in the fucking 20-year anniversary or whatever the fuck. Of course, that went by and that didn't happen. I recently saw Busy Bone was talking about a Heavens movie re-release. Now, if these things were re-released with, bonus tracks, unreleased shit, maybe different mixes, I would buy a fucking Thug Mentality that was every song like a different, like a pre-release version or something. If Tamika was to put out the Art of War pre-releases, like in CD quality, like I would buy that shit. But I don't want to buy just like a fucking re-release, period. I hate those fucking re-releases. Our son Caleb says hi to the Bone Nation. He's about to turn 11. Shout out, Caleb. Happy birthday, man. Boom. Unfortunately, the money could be a huge roadblock. The money is a huge roadblock. Hunter, I would buy their instrumentals. I would buy their instruments. I assume instrumentals. If you meant instrumentals, have you checked out the DJ Unique instrumental albums? And what did you think of him doing shit like that? That's where we got the Down 71 pre-release for the first time. Thought that was dope. I was trying to go live. I'm in the waiting room. You didn't have a mic, bro. You didn't have a mic. You had some video. It said that your bandwidth was super, super low. You didn't have a mic, and it said that you were having a hard time connecting to us. I was down to talk to you too, doggy. Anyone know what the Busy Bone DJ Quick era around 2010? Yo, Lippy has been on this DJ Quick shit. He has been on it. Have you added anything to your collection? Yeah, man. Turok. So I'm waiting 2 months because it's coming freight from Japan, but I finally got myself a copy of the Thugs Cry single. I'm waiting for that to come in. 2 months now. In fact, it's 2 months exactly today from the time it shipped. But when I got my Faces of Death from Japan, it took about 3 months. And then I've just added some little stuff. You know, nothing. I think me and you talked about this, which is there's just certain things I like. They don't necessarily have to be rare or expensive. There's just certain things I want in my collection. So I just got the World So Cruel single. That's coming in the mail. I got the Resurrection Paper single. I think I'm going to get the El Burnham Make My Day single, although I see it at like $40, and that just seems wrong. $25-$30 like tops for that. And what's crazy is like Resurrection, I don't really love that song or the cover. I don't know why I wanted the single. I just do. Same with Make My Day. I don't love that song, but I want the single. So, but yeah, the Thugs Cry is the big thing I'm waiting for. I just won a Flesh and Bone poster for Fifth Dog Let Loose that I'm going to frame, matte and frame. I also won a Thug World Order poster. I bought some fucking weird shit for stuff I don't even really care for. Fifth Dog Let Loose was just cool to me. Thug World Order I didn't really care about, but I own all that shit. Let's see. I wanted to mention about the fact that Tupac might have been about to join Ruthless before Easy died. How do you think that would have turned out for Bone? I've never, and maybe John is like our Tupac guy. Was it before Easy died or was it during Thug Life? Because I know Thug Life at one point was talking about being Ruthless artist, and then I actually think that there was a small little beef, Thug Life and Bone. I don't know if it actually became a actual beef, but I know that, you know, Tupac kind of threw some shots or something because Thug Life didn't end up signed over there. I don't know if it was going to be before he died. Why One Night Stand was a single on the group album, but I love that song. I don't know. Was it a single? I think it was just a bonus track. It was a great song. It was an awesome song. Actually enjoyed Thug World Order, a couple of bangers, but it's not their best. Yeah, I don't hate it. I like that album. It's different. It is the, like, I remember hearing Resurrection and thinking, wow, this is pretty fucking different Bone shit. Like it was, like if a line was going straight and then it just started to curve a little bit, that was, you know, that was Resurrection. And then when Thug World Order came, it was like it took the heavy right turn. I didn't hate it, but I was like, okay, we're really going in a different direction now. And why Way Too Strong wasn't on Heaven's movie? Well, that went on a soundtrack, right? So it was probably something with that. I mean, I would assume maybe he did some exclusives for the soundtrack, some shit. Busy said Tupac was kind of on Ruthless for a hot minute. And Penthouse Players Click was on Ruthless Records. Priority PPC was Eazy-E, DJ Quick, Play a Ham, and someone else. In 92, it seemed Eazy was signing all kinds of people. I think what we could talk about in terms of Tupac and Bone, if Thug Life went to Ruthless Records, I do think there's the possibility at that point that Bone Thugs maybe didn't get signed Maybe they did. You know what? If Thug Life went there, Bone probably still gets signed, and here's why. Eazy-E had all kinds of repeating shit. He had Gangsta Bitch Mentality. He had HWA. Lippy probably knows the rest of them. There was a bunch of girl rappers over there that I feel like all kind of fell into the same vein. So they probably would have still got signed. How different would that have been if Thug Life with Tupac, I think Morphine was in there too, was on the same label as Bone Thug? That would have been incredible. I don't think I've ever heard you guys mention Thug Stories. Is that forgotten, not talked about with you guys as it is for me? We got an episode talking about it. You know, what do you want to talk about with it? That's the problem, right? It's like I don't mind talking about it, but there's nothing to really say. It's the prequel to Strength and Loyalty. It was cool. The intro was the best thing. Kenny McLeod. It all kind of whatever from there. I mean, it's cool. I like a bunch of the songs on it, but it's just whatever. Just a whatever record. But if you got something you want to talk about with it, I'm with it. But it's a passover. Strength and Loyalty was so incredible. And that just goes to show you, right? Thug Stories, the year before, Koch, completely independent situation, Bone probably in most of the control. It's an okay album. Strength and Loyalty, major label, Full Surface, I believe Interscope. Totally different record. For better or worse, I'm not saying, but totally different record. You can see what it means to have the record label and the beast and the fucking machine behind it. The beast. I called it the beast instead of the machine. We did a question of the week on Thug Stories. Yeah. If you go to our videos and you search Thug Stories, we got one in there. What do you think of the chances Bone will get inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I don't think that that's coming anytime soon. I think that for it to happen just naturally and not off the back of something tragic, meaning a member of Bone dies, I think that we still have a fucking 10-year wait, probably. I think these guys are old legends, almost probably retired before the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame gives them their dues. Because the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is putting rock and roll in first. You got to be exceptional hip-hop to make it. I think I've talked about this before. Does Wu-Tang deserve it more than Bone? I mean, so debatable. Culturally, Wu-Tang has an impact that few have made. Sales-wise, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Eternal, what the fuck? So, but I don't think we see that anytime in the near future. If something tragic was to happen, it may speed the process up. But they deserve it nonetheless. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, who the fuck knows? Where's our super official, hip-hop Hall of Fame? That's what we really need. Fuck this Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We're fighting to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because we're fighting over the fact that Bone are legitimate rock stars. We need to get over comparing rappers to this rock star shit. We now have the number one genre worldwide in music, in hip-hop. We don't need to fucking fight over the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We should have a amazing hip-hop Hall of Fame at this point that Bone should be in. So that's what I think. Let's read the comments. I would love to see Busy on this platform. Y'all planning to have him on? We've had him on before, man. Just look him up. John went out to California and spent many, many days with him. Oh, I must have missed that. John must have told him already. Okay. Let them in. Another quick question. What gems are locked in the Ruthless Vault that never got released? So fucking many, bro. We know so many. And I often question, just what is in there for think about it. We saw Crazy Bone hear Mo Thug Children and what the fuck is this? And now he eventually remembered it, but that was gone from his brain. Imagine what's sitting in these DATs, in these safes, wherever Tamika has them for Bone music. It must be incredible. Bone is the best group ever. I remember when they came to Hazelhurst, Mississippi. When they first came out, I really enjoyed spending time with them after the show. Yeah, isn't that awesome? Bone does spend a lot of time with the fans after the show. Very interactive people. Jay-Z gets in on the first ballot and Bone has to wait till their 60s. I mean, listen, I'm a fucking Bone nerd, okay? I got a Bone Thugs and Harmony podcast. I think they're the greatest hip-hop group of all fucking time. I think Crazy Bone is severely underrated as possibly one of the best rappers of all time. But should Bone be on a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ballot before Jay-Z? No. I can't get with that. Jay-Z's cultural impact is eons above Bone Thugs and Harmony. That's just facts. That's just facts. It's not facts that I necessarily like, although I am a huge Jay-Z fan. But it's just the facts. They need more world tours to be eligible, I think. That's possible. I think Bone's done a lot of world fucking tours, though, right? Like, I mean, these are some touring motherfuckers. I guess they've had trouble with Flesh and Bone in the past being able to tour. All I hear from my friends is that Busy ruined their chances at the Hall of Fame, but now they say Busy is fighting to let Bone know their worth more than ever. Okay, but somebody tell Busy ruined their chances of being on Saturday Night Live. How did he ruin their chances to be in the Hall of Fame? Somebody would have to explain that to me. Get Eric. I have briefly made contact with him, but I haven't really had any real contact with him to get him on the show. It'd be a good interview. If you guys didn't hear, if you're just tuning in, we were talking about bringing back Thug Thursday. What the season 4, what that would mean, and we're basically talking about, instead of it being pre-recorded like the last 3 seasons have been, doing every episode live, including the interviews. You guys would hear them as they happen, no post-editing edits at all. You guys would just get it as it happens. I got to know what y'all think of that. I wouldn't really be taking call-ins. We're going to continue to, run the interviews the way that we do. But I'd take comments in the chat, maybe some calls at the end. But I think that that's an important format change, and that's probably like a good evolution of the show. It's a dumb comment in my opinion. It's like the blame is all on Busy. Yeah, I mean, I think Busy's the easy scapegoat. When we want to blame shit on Bone and their success, like Busy's the easy scapegoat for things that have happened. But again, I'm not saying that you can't point any fingers at him, but when we say shit like, and I know you said that it was your friends that said it or whatever, but when things like, oh, Busy's the reason they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, how? Someone tell me how. Do you think Busy will reunite with the group in 2021 at live shows? I think if he did it, it would only benefit the brand more. No. Maybe, but no. They just spent a year away from shows. Busy Bone makes the most money as himself, I believe. I think he's going to probably tour heavy for himself, and he already told us it was like 2024 or some shit. So Busy's usually sticks to his shit, but hey, if the bag comes, we know what this ultimately comes down to is the fucking money. They're waiting for the bag. So, I mean, if somebody comes with the bag that they're looking for, then yeah, we'll probably see them back together. The problem is that I hear ridiculous numbers. Crazy shit. 100 million or some shit. Like, come on. No, he's working on his new album. Yeah. Not sure if this is a question of the week or something like that, but I would challenge anyone to find a better catalog of any rap hip-hop artist over 4 or 5 years than Crazy Bone from 95 to 99. BT&H solo Mo Thugs. Yeah. He was solid. He was at his peak. 200 million, he said last live. Yeah, right. That's the problem. It's like, do I think that Bone deserves $200 million? Yeah, they got fucked raw, young by Ruthless, by Eazy-E. Blasphemy, right? For me to say that, blasphemy. They got fucked by Eazy-E. I mean, Tamika held it up, but they got fucked by Eazy-E. So did they deserve $200 million for their contributions in the 90s under Ruthless Records for what they did? Yeah, they deserve it. Are they going to get it as a hip-hop group from the 90s that hasn't had a quantifiable fucking hit in I don't know how long? I mean, good fucking luck. Good luck. Whoever gives Bone $200 million, let me know. It sounds like they're passing out fucking music stimulus and I'm down. I don't feel there was ever stability within the group in terms of all 5 members. At this point, they should be stronger than ever. They also got saved by Eazy. Yeah, I agree with that, 100%. I don't disagree. I like to point out that Eazy who fucked him because Tamika Wright takes so much blame. They didn't sign a record deal with Tamika Wright. They signed a record deal with Eazy-E. Eazy-E died before we got to see what his next move would be, if he would treat them fair or not. So we always just assumed that Eazy was going to do the best thing. But, you know, a lot of artists had left Eazy-E for very similar reasons. So who's to really fucking say? I don't know. I like to believe that Eazy-E probably would have done the right thing, but who knows? Either way, Tamika just held their deal up, which she should have changed it. By then, she should have seen they're worth more, but she wasn't trying to have that shit. Back to the stability. It looks like there's pretty good stability amongst the 4 outside of Busy. And Busy says that there's stability there as well. I always go back to that time that Busy Bone was live and, he wouldn't take Lazy Bone's call. Busy said that was just so he could, that the call was worth money, I guess. And he's right. I mean, that could happen on Jam TV. There'd be bread involved. And, but to me, even though he is right about that, it's like, give the fans a little what they want. We just want to watch you and Lazy Bone on a fucking live stream together. Like, just give motherfuckers what they want. It ain't got to be long. It ain't got to be everything. Quick, whatever. So I think things like that, I think things like that are like what show the instabilities there, even though they say there is. Yo, did you catch the Heavens Movie Deluxe Edition double disc? I've heard that. I was just talking about it. It might have been before you were in here. I was just talking about how he was talking about a re-release of that and how we may see a re-release. I hope so. It'd be fire, But the problem is that there's so many promises. There's so many promises for so much shit. So it's just like, I'll believe it when I see it. It does appear that maybe he received some sort of ownership back over Heaven's movie in some way because, he released the fucking Thugs Cry video through Jam TV. And I remember him saying something along the lines of, basically taking ownership of it in some way. So take that for what it's worth. True. How much was your Thugs Cry single, if you don't mind sharing? Yeah, I don't mind sharing. Let me look. I don't even really remember. I've bought so much shit lately. Yeah, I think he got it back. My hope is that Bone can get some major social media buzz in the next 1 to 2 years with a versus match. Yeah, but anybody that it makes sense for them to do versus, like, what the fuck happened with the 3-6 Mafia thing? And if not 3-6 Mafia, who do they do a versus with? I spent like $2,600 on 10 fucking bone CDs. Hunter, you're a fucking madman. I think you're the same Hunter. Are you the same Hunter that I have a giant vault of bone shit that was gifted to me? And in one of my folders, it's like downloads and it's like Hunter's collection. And if you're that same Hunter, you're a maniac collector in the best way. I love you. I love your collection. I love passionate collectors like that. I absolutely love it. And I love the multiple layers of bone collecting because, like I said, there's some bone shit that is worth so much to fans that I'm like, I could give one flying fuck if I owned that. Case in point, original Bone for Life. Don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. I would pick it up if I saw it like cheap as fuck somewhere on mistake or something. I don't give a fuck to own it, though. I wouldn't go out of my way for it. What the fuck ever. Some people love that. Some people love all the multiple versions of a E1999 Eternal. I don't give a damn about them. Don't care. I mean, I own a few of them, but I don't care. But what I'm saying is some of us do, and I love that there's multiple layers of us, that people love all different things. Me, I've said it a million times, I'm like a promo single guy. I love the singles. I love European and like import singles. I love the promo singles. That's kind of like my shit. Yes, Hunter is. Well, you are an amazing collector, sir. My hat's off to you. My hat's off to you. I would love for, I'm trying to do a thing called the Bone Collector where I have people call in and show off one item, talk about it, show it off. And I want people to do that. Doesn't have to be rare, although rare is awesome. It could just be any bone thing that you love. Call in, let's show it off. So Hunter, we should get you involved in that. Maybe you can help kick it off. Any plans to interview old Thugline artists? Who do you want to hear? Maybe. Busy put up his verses list and everyone shut up. Who was on his list? Tell me some people on his list. I remember being on DJ Paul's IG Live the day they planned to battle with 3-6 and Bone. He said it was post-Bone because Versus wanted to officially do it. Yeah, but they're not, right? Like, where the fuck are you, Swiss Beats? I'm about done collecting, and I only collect the oldies. Also, I buy shit with exclusives. I don't want every fucking release Crossroads. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, homie. I'll be involved with the Bone Collector. Hell yeah, man. That's what I need, man. Like I said, and I'm not looking for full collections. I'm looking for one item. I'm still looking, by the way, Turok, for, I can't find my order must be in here somewhere. Where the fuck? Salute to all the collectors. Keep physical media alive. Yeah, isn't it amazing where, as Bone fans, we're like some of the last hip-hoppers, I think, that like to collect physical media. That's real. Larice from Thugline. Do you know how I contact her? I think I had a contact for her at one point, but I didn't end up getting any contact with her. But if you got a way to contact her, I'm with it. Next season, you guys heard it during the live. We're scheduled to have Thug Queen come on the show next season for a full interview. We had her for the live if you haven't seen the live. So there's a good one that's coming. Call in and talk to me tonight, 820-3684-2823 on Zoom. That's a Zoom ID. It is in the description of the video. It's scrolling at the bottom, 820-3684-2823. That's the meeting ID. Hit me up on Zoom. Let's talk a little Bone Thugs and Harmony. Don't be scared. Powder P would be a funny interview. I tried to get him. I tried to go through his brother to get him, and it's a weird situation. I collect CDs. They are the future. Bro, Turok, I really want to tell you what I paid, bro. For some reason, I can't find... It was It was less than $100. I know that. And then with shipping, I think it came to just over $100. If I remember correctly. I'm on my Discogs. By the way, if anybody's on Discogs, we're on Discogs. It's Beyond the Harmony on Discogs. Let's be friends. I was thinking earlier. I felt like it was a good price. Like, I've seen them go for more. And it's like, it's not that I haven't had the opportunity to buy some of the shit that I own before. It's that I'm not willing to pay some of the prices. So I'm like, I'll either never own it or I'm going to find that unicorn in the right price. Like, I got my Faces of Death 93, and it is in the nicest quality. Like, it's in such good shape. It's crazy. I paid $87 just recently. Just, I think, within the last year. That's something I would have never fucking bought. I think I'm going to make... Okay, I was thinking about this. I own like 40 copies of Faces of Death. I own a bunch of reds, a bunch of yellows, all, the reissues. Then I own 193. Now, I watched that 93 edition go for something stupid on eBay recently, $1,300. Thinking about doing a $100 entry, giving everybody that enters a copy of Faces of Death, but one person's going to win the 93, and maybe I'll give away my Busy Bone signed one in it as well. Who knows? Have you heard that new project Crazy Bone is working on, that Ghetto Cowboy vibe, possibly Ghetto Cowboy 2? I heard him say that was something he was working on, but that's it. That's all I've heard. LoyalBoneFans.com in the building. Loyal Bone Fans, what's happening? Check out Loyal Bone Fans on YouTube. We're going to be re-releasing some of Crystal's videos on here as well soon. I got them all. I heard the songs he played. He played some Ghetto Cowboy songs, huh? Did they have a Ghetto Cowboy vibe, or were they just Crazy Bone songs? I fucking talk about it, man. These guys like to be Ghetto Cowboys. They had Ghetto Cowboy. Lazy Bone's got a whole album being a Ghetto fucking Cowboy recently. Crazy Bone, Ghetto Cowboy. Busy Bone, fucking Django Unleashed. Like, there's some Ghetto Cowboys. Who else bought a lame CD just because it had Bone features? All of us, at least back in the day, before you could MP3 it. Look, I enjoy y'all in the fucking chat. Somebody call in and let's talk about some fucking Bone Thugs and Harmony. Meeting ID is in the description. It is 820-36-84-2823 on Zoom. Apparently he brought back everybody except for Powder P. All right. I think he tried to bring back Powder P. They said that they made contact with Powder through his brother. And it sounded like Powder P wanted to be entitled to a bunch of money that he didn't get the first time. Is kind of like the feeling I got. So it was like, are you fucking nuts? Like, we just won't have you on there. Powder P's verse wasn't good. It wasn't good. I don't know how he got signed. It wasn't good. I'd love to have him as I'm not hating. I'd love to have him on the show, but it wasn't good. I don't give a fuck if he's not on it. He's the worst part of the song. Fight me. He was the fucking Wishbone of Ghetto Cowboy. I would have rather had Wishbone on there. They should have cut Powder P and had fucking Wishbone on there. 2 million%. If I call in, I'm talking DJ Quick. Busy Bone has been talking about a new project. Any thoughts on your expectations? Yeah, I mean, Busy's red hot fire, man. You know, his last 2 records are great. A lot of that gets attributed to Blaze. I don't know what that situation was as far as Blaze and Busy. And so it seemed like it's all, all good, and it was a mutual kind of split. I don't know. We attribute a lot of that success to Blaze. I think maybe Busy's looking to show that he could be successful regardless of who's kind of in the driver's seat. So he might as well be in the driver's seat. And, I have high expectations for it. They have to be high coming out of the mantra. So I have high expectations for it, Yeah, I got high expectations for it. We'll see what happens. But I look forward to it. It all comes down to when. When? Has there been a date? Has he given a date? Apparently, he said Powder went crazy. Yeah, I remember seeing that interview where they said he went nuts. Whatever album War was on was probably my worst purchase for a Bone song. That was the Toy Story soundtrack. You were better off there was 2 different singles, multiple versions on each single, and then, of course, we know that there was a version also on the collection. I really like the song War. I wish Crazy Bone was on it. What a weird lineup. Lazy, Flesh, Wish. But I like it. Names. Yeah. Come on. Small Soldiers. Yeah. Who do we got? Brandon's iPhone. Brandon's got no video. Brandon's got no voice. Let's see.
Hello?
Turk, what's happening, bro? Oh, I can't
Hey,
hear you. Hold on. Fuck's going on? I see you.
Can you hear me?
Don't hear you. It doesn't say you're muted, though. What the fuck is going on here, bro? Hold on. Let me make sure it's not me. I haven't had anybody in here to test this bad motherfucker yet. Talk now, Turok.
How's it going, man? Can you hear me?
No, I still don't have audio
Nothing?
from you. Interesting. Oh, you guys can hear him? That's wild if you guys can hear him, because I can't hear him. So that's amazing. Try now. You hear him. You guys hear him. What in the fuck? Oh, this says in here that he didn't connect to audio. Now I hear you. What's up, buddy? How are you? Yeah, right on. I saw you asking what I'd added. Last time we talked about that Thug's Cry, and then boom, you put it in the universe, and then it happens. Have you added anything new to your collection since we talked? Yeah, I was pumped, and I thought the price was right. I haven't seen it personally yet, but all the pictures of it looked like it was in really, really good shape, and it comes from Japan, same place I got my Faces of Death, and it makes me question. I'm like, man, what is it about these releases over in Japan that they take such good care of this shit? In fact, I remember hearing something about like the Faces of Death records kind of coming from Japan. And it seems like their culture, they really take great care of stuff, because every like thing that I've got in my collection from Japan is in the best shape. Now you guys can't hear him. You guys can't hear him now. Okay. What the fuck? See, this is the live shit. All right, hold on, y'all. I'm working with it. I got you. Hold on. Hold on. Turok called back in, fixed his fucking audio, and now nobody can hear him. I hate this shit. It seems to be always something in this show. This is usually where I would have Lippy. Lippy fills the space while I like work frantically in the background. I say it all the time. I'm like, nobody knows what I'm actually doing in the background during these shows. All right, let's see. Video. This is what I'm going to do. Let me do that. Sorry, y'all. Technical difficulties. I'm trying to work it out. It's so weird that y'all could hear him and I couldn't. Now they can't hear you. That's incredible. Oh, some new bone shit? Yeah. I know y'all can't hear it, but he's talking about new shit that he recently got and that he wants to show it off, but he wants to save it for the bone collector. I don't blame you.
I think you'd really like it. It goes along with the promos and imports and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, but I don't want to give too much away. But
Yeah, I'm looking to set that up soon. I think they can probably hear you now. It looks like they're showing levels finally, so hopefully it's on there now. I don't know what's been going on. My okay. NTP says they can hear it now. Good. Yeah, did you see you were one of the people I thought of. Did you see that on eBay there's a copy of the fucking clean version up there for $3,000?
or best offer. Yep.
What do you think the best? First of all, what do you feel that that's worth? It's not worth $3,000 to me. What do you feel it's worth, and what do you think the best offer is on it?
I know that's a hard one. I think I've only seen it for sale on there once, me personally.
Yeah.
Besides him, but
I know.
I guess it depends on the collector.
Yeah.
If it was something I was after, I'd probably say maybe around 5.
That's where I see it. Like, I see it at around 500. It is rare, which I wouldn't pay 5, but I do see it for a collector like you in that $500 range.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say in like the quote unquote retail, it's $1,000 if you're a complete fucking maniac. But
yeah,
$3,000, I'm like, who the fuck is doing this? Who's doing this? That's insanity. Do you think anybody does that?
I guess anything's really worth what somebody is willing to pay, I guess. You know, like you said with that $1,000 Faces of Death, and you found it for 87.
Right.
I mean, that's the one thing about this whole collecting thing is over the years I've seen gems pop up like that for whether people knew what they were or not, just cheap.
Yeah.
And then you see stuff like this that are in the thousands.
Well, that's exactly what it is, right? Like my Thugs Cry, my Faces of Death, those came from non-bone collectors. They were priced around $100, so they knew they had something that wasn't just a piece of shit, but they didn't realize that people are turning around trying to sell these for $1,000. What's interesting is that 93 Faces of Death, I don't know if you saw when that was on eBay, but when that went up, they started at like a penny or some ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
And it made that bidding, frenzy, right? Everybody wanted to bid hard on it. And I think that's what got it up there, because somebody released another one. I almost question if it was the same copy, like whoever the winner was like, I paid way too much money.
Yep.
And relisted it. And they relisted it for almost that same price, like $1,200, and no one's touching it. You need that bidding frenzy. That's what gets things up that high.
I think he wanted his money back.
Yeah. He was probably like, what the fuck did I do? This is like 3 months of a car payment right here for this fucking CD.
I did bid on it.
It looked like it was in great shape.
but my bid was nowhere near that. Not even. I mean, yes, it would be cool to have, but no way, not for me. No.
Yeah. What do you think it's worth?
Ah, in that really really good condition, I think I bid like 3 or 4 on it,
Yeah. That's exactly
somewhere
where I
around
see it.
there. That's where for me personally, that's where I think it's worth.
Yeah. To me it's the and this is just my opinion. Obviously, we have no official ranking, but to me it's like
Mm-hmm.
fucking clean is the most collectible thing that I can think of. I think that a 93 Faces of Death falls somewhere close to second or third. But with that being said, for the best collectors, these got to be $400 or $500, and that's again if you're really really trying to get it. When I saw that Faces of Death go to $1,200, I'm like, we are dealing with a fucking maniac, kids.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's all depends on what the person likes and what they're into. Kind of like how me and you are.
Yeah,
Like if it was like the last thing I've ever wanted to collect, I'd fucking throw that shit on my credit card, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Like this is the last thing that I need and it's available right there. Yeah, it's cost an arm and a leg, but sometimes as far as collecting, sometimes you just gotta go for it because you don't know when it's gonna pop up again. And sometimes things pop up often. It's all a gamble, really. You
What's on
know,
your list? What's on your list left that you really want? What are the things that you're kind of searching for?
I just got I just got two in the mail today that were on there for a very long time that I didn't even know existed until less than a year ago. Um, One is super rare. Uh, Damn, I should just stop talking about it. I need to save that. I know you're gonna love it, and you're gonna be like, "What the fuck, bro? What the fuck?" I know you're going to, but I've added another Thug Cry myself.
Damn, how many does that bring you up
Um,
to?
10,
Wow, that's
and
incredible.
another one of these is today's too.
Wow,
Can you?
that's fucking
Um,
crazy. Yeah, those, and I think we talked about that last time. But those, in my opinion, are some of the the rarities, the Heaven's Movie promo singles. Those three are all pretty high in my rarity book. Um, and I've always found it interesting that those singles were only promo for the radio and they didn't hit actual, record stores. Because we're talking about at a time where the actual CD single sales impacted your charts in such a big way that you would have thought, especially after like the Crossroads having a single that crushed so high, that they would have been pressing all this for public. But none of those singles were for public, for the public. So it's like you own 10 of them. These went to the radio. Now they probably printed a few thousand of these easily to go to the radio, but what happens at radio is that singles sit there for a while, and then they got thrown out. They got thrown in bins. A lot of
yeah,
singles from the 90s got destroyed. It's like, how many of these made it to a fucking dumpster after Thug's Cry got its run?
yeah.
And
I gotta imagine the radio stations get like hundreds of CDs all the time.
oh, think about it in the 90s. 98
Yeah,
when Thug's Cry was coming out. Think of the singles they
mhm.
must have been getting.
Just every day. It probably got a lot of them. Probably just got lost in the mix and
Yeah.
sorry, we're gonna throw this box away. We need to make room.
What's crazy is I'd always noticed this on the poster, but until our last live, you pointed out I never noticed on the snippet tapes that there were two different covers. I've seen the two posters with the two different, one says "Giving Up the Ghost," one says, that the release date coming soon, but I'd never noticed that the tapes had two different covers. And I think I
Yep.
own one. I think most of them, the ones I own, are the Giving Up the Ghost one, and then I think I own one with the
This
October. Yeah, yeah,
October 6th. Yeah, has the interview on it. You can see.
yeah,
So I didn't know that at first either. It's like, oh shit, there's two of those.
yeah,
Now I got to go find another bunch of those ones next.
yeah, yeah. I think most of mine are the Giving Up the Ghost The Giving Up the Ghost
Yeah,
one.
that one's way more common that I've found.
I bet it is. I bet it is because it makes sense at that point that they put it out, and they didn't have a date yet, and then they must have reissued it once they had a date, and probably not in highest demand. So yeah, I would assume that one's more rare. But yeah, I had no idea until you brought it up. I was like, holy shit! You had said something in the comments like, which one do you have? And I was like, bro, what are you talking about? That's the poster, homie. And then I went and looked at my shit, and I was like, motherfucker, I've lined these up next to each other, taking pictures, and not noticed that they were different.
But see, that's what's crazy about.
I got the Ghetto Cowboy single on CD. That's cool, homie. A bunch of us do. I think that's the biggest Mo Thug single of all time. So that motherfucker got passed around.
That's what's crazy about when it comes to the bone collecting. I'm still learning shit all the time. Well, what's out there?
Yeah.
Even to this day, like you said, you didn't know there was another tape. Right. I didn't know that either at first.
Right.
No idea. Oh, but which one did you have him get signed? I'm guessing the Give Up the Ghost one.
I assume it's a Give Up the Ghost. I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's a Give Up the Ghost one.
I had him sign the October 6th one in Denver for me.
Yeah, that's dope.
Just because it has the interview on it. That interview is awesome.
Did they not both have the interview?
Nope. Just really? The Find October 6th one has the interview. And it has that busy track in the background that's unreleased. That sounds fucking dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man.
All right, that's it. I'm putting the headphones down. Hold on, Turok. We're putting the whole thing on pause. Now I got to go see which one's signed.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay, I was completely wrong. I only have one copy of the Giving Up the Ghost one. It's opened. It's in pretty good shape. I have 2 sealed October 6th ones, and then I have a signed October 6th one.
That's awesome. You got, in my opinion, you got the right one signed.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy about that one is a bunch of the shit that I own is like from my childhood collection. Before I knew I was collecting this shit. So many things are in played condition as far as like my albums and stuff. And that thing is no different. I mean, it's in pretty good shape, but out of the 4 of them, it's in the roughest shape because it's from my, I literally probably got that motherfucker in 98. Some of this shit's been in my collection since the day it came out. And it was, they were played heavily. But yeah, I thought that I had a bunch of Giving Up the Ghost ones, but I actually only have one of those.
Yeah, I think it's a nice piece to have, either one or both.
I'm a fan. Again, that's one of those weird things that I collect. Like, dude, I like really strange shit. What was it? The fucking Crazy Bone, I think, for Thug on the Line, before it came out. He had like this little mixtape CD that came with it that was like a snippet CD, I think. And it's almost like hosted by a DJ of some sorts. And there's nothing real special about it, but I thought it was cool that he put it out. And it's so fucking wild. The first copy that I got of that, I'm out in California. I'm 17. I'm on tour with Juan G, the same guy that Lazy Bones got the song with, Juan G. And I'm on tour with them. I'm in the back of a fucking SUV. I think the record company was called TNO. And I'm in the back of a TNO SUV. Juan G's dad's driving. Juan G's in the passenger seat. I'm behind Juan G. And I'm just looking, and they got all these fucking CDs in the thing. And I'm like, is that Crazy Bone? And I pull the CD out of the back of the fucking seat, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, there's a Crazy Bone CD I don't have, and I just slid that motherfucker in my pocket right there. Here I am. I'm out here touring. I'm doing all this music. I'm doing like actual big shit with my life. I'm like on pause my senior year on the East Coast to be in California on a tour, and all I care about is this Crazy Bone promo that I found, and I was just like, yeah, they don't need this. Slipped it in my pocket.
Yeah, it's what are the odds, you know?
Yeah. So it was cool. But I love that kind of stuff. The radio
Yeah.
stuff that we never see. Like, some of it's rare, some of it's not. But I'm like, I think it's cool. Do you get into like the imports, the foreign imports and shit?
Some of them, yes.
Yeah.
Some of them, yes. Have you ever heard of Test Press
Oh yeah.
CDs?
Oh yeah.
I've been looking into those lately.
Some of them are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Some of them are cool, but they're like, that's like a real collector's like item right there, because most of them, you know, there's no fancy artwork, there's nothing like that. So that's for a pure collector. That's like I saw somebody put up like the E1999 Eternal, I don't even know. It was like basically like it was like a white cover, and it was basically just like black standard typing, you know, for it. It was like a maybe it was like a test.
Yeah.
And it was a cassette. And I was just like, this is some real collecting ass shit right here.
It looks like someone just made it at their house real quick.
Yeah. And I'm like, this is kind of like what they pressed this to pass this around the office or something. You know, this was something different, but that's some real collector shit, because there's nothing to look at there. There's no pretty cover.
The first time I see one, I didn't know what to think. I was like, is this shit even real?
Yeah.
You know, I was like, I don't know. It's one of those things. You know, you got your bone shit out there that's of course not legit.
Yeah.
And some people will argue that it is, and then this is one of those things. Is like, is this even real?
Dude,
I mean, just because you haven't seen it before doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But at the same time, you're like, you know, I don't know. You know,
was it you that I talked to? Somebody had posted a picture of a supposed Faces of Death radio promo.
That's on the collector's page right now. I think it might be for sale.
So I talked to Cecil and Diego Black about that.
Okay.
And I said, hey, did you guys make a special thing that was, you know, promo only for radio, da-da-da-da? And he goes, they were both like, the basic answer I got from them both was kind of like, no, why would we do that? The first two songs on the album are edited clean for radio specifically. We sent the album to radio the same way. We didn't do a separate pressing specifically for radio. If we did that, then the first two songs wouldn't have been clean. Those first two songs were clean specifically because they sent the album to radio. So, you know, K-Chill, I don't know how much he was involved with the distribution, but I know in Diego's interview, he was basically like that guy. He did all the distribution deals and shit. So take that for what it's worth. I've never seen one before. The technology that they use to press that CD, it looks like something along the light scribe, maybe a little earlier than light scribing, but I question that technology that was used to even make that CD. But for me, because I know Diego, I know K-Chill, I know, you know, those guys, I'm like, oh, I wouldn't fuck with that now. I've never seen one before. And guys that are involved are saying, nah, why would we do that?
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, because like you said, some people will argue with you blue in the face. That is real.
It's not on my list.
Yeah.
It's not on my list. I mean, if it's real, that's awesome. If not, then man.
What do you think? Because like you just said, some people will just tell you something's real even when it's not because they believe it is. Something like that, what would it take to prove that it's not real? Kermit saying it's not real? Like, Bone's not going to know, right? Like, if you were like, yo, Crazy Bone, is this a real CD? He's just going to go, What?
Well, see, that's kind of how I look at some things. Is like, all right, if you showed this to Busy or Crazy or whoever, are they gonna back it up?
How would they know? Like they know Faces of Death is a real thing,
Mm-hmm.
but they probably don't even know how many pressings and shit. You know, it's like, does does Busy Bone know that Lazy Bone just repressed fucking Faces of Death? Like, do they even know how many copies are out there to be able to say, oh
Yeah.
yeah, this got sent to radio in fucking '93? Like, I don't think they would know.
See, that's one thing I've always wondered. Like all of their material, as far as singles, cassettes, records, everything. Do they have like their own collection of all of that, or are they just like, fuck it, we don't care about any of it?
Yeah, I don't think so. The guy that I would say collected the most of their shit unfortunately passed away, and I think it was Rob J from Mo Thug Harmony House. And Rob J had an amazing collection of shit that he kind of collected along their way. I got kind of hip to his collection one day when he posted. What did he post? He posted two things that I was like, oh, okay, he's the real deal. One was the Flesh and Bone comic book, and then one was a cigar from the BNK video shoot. It was the cigars they were smoking on set had a special wrap around them that said like BNK, Easy E or some fucking shit. And that was the guy that was collecting the most stuff. And he before he passed away was talking about a Bone Thugs Harmony museum going in Cleveland. And that would be
Oh,
incredible, and it's too bad because he was kind of the guy that was going to be I would say the gas behind that, and then he passed away. So I hope somebody picks up his vision and runs with it. And
was he from
I hope somebody's got access to his fucking collection that cares about it.
was he from the Life?
He was Mo Thug first. He was president of Mo Thugs, and then he was president of Harmony House after. He's Crazy Bones. That's Rob the Don. That's Crazy Bones' brother. But he was more heavy set. He was always with Lazy Bone, and
Okay.
he was a Mo Thugs guy.
I remember reading a post about like that. There was this guy selling his whole cassette collection,
Mm.
and there was a post from the Life saying how much for the whole thing. I'm trying to get a bone museum started.
Wow. Yeah, I
I
hope somebody
remember a
does
post
that.
like that.
That would be incredible. I hope somebody does that. Isn't it interesting the way that cassettes got phased out, and now from a collector's standpoint, they're kind of making a return of sorts, the same way the record did, to the point that I've even seen special edition re-releases. I saw years back Eminem re-release like the Marshall Mathers LP specifically on like a tape and stuff. It's interesting to see these things come back around, tapes and records and shit.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool because it just reminds me of that era.
Yeah.
Like we talked about last time. I really fucking miss going into a music store and just walking around looking at records, tapes, CDs, posters, shirts, all that shit's in there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I really miss those days.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the bet, before the internet, it was so cool when you would pick up a copy of like The Source and you saw the advertisement for the first time for, whatever it is, The Art of War. I always bring up The Art of War because I specifically remember like opening a copy of The Source and seeing the Art of War advertisement and just being like, oh, fuck yeah. And counting down the days and then taking the trip to the record store to get it. And I remember getting it and the Art of War having such a fucking huge display in the record store. And it was so exciting to like experience that.
It really was, like even like the BET commercials about whatever album, Alberna or The Gift. I remember
Yeah.
seeing those.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was always fun to see, like I said, those advertisements in the magazines. I remember seeing the Gift one. It was just recently we rehashed it online, that Gift advertisement, the one where it says the one and only star
Only
of Bone
star
Thugs
of
and
Bone
Harmony.
Thugs and Harmony.
And I tried to give the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, this just wasn't proofread. There's supposed to be a comma here. The one and only star, of Bone Thugs and Harmony, like the one and only Busy Bone. But then I went and watched the commercial for it that was playing on BET, and they clearly say the one and only star of Bone Thugs and Harmony. I was like, God damn. Tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, but here it is.
Yeah, that was a crazy time for Busy and everything that was going on.
Yeah.
And in the promo magazine, it's like pictures of the Change the World video.
Yeah, that
for
was
the album
that's
cover.
why it got rehashed. I actually brought that up to people that that was supposed to be the cover, and people said, "Oh no, it was just for the thing." But I was like, "Look at it. They're using this like it's a fucking cover." And then Skin and Bones, who's kind of like a Seven Sign historian, had brought it up at one point that that Ruthless had put the block on them using that. I assume because it's from the Change the World. Change the World video. Would you have liked it more visually if it had that cover versus just being the text?
I think a visual one would have been all right. I mean, like, look how many pictures he took for Heaven's movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's just like dozens of them of all kinds of shit. I mean, he could have took something. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it is what it is, and I'm okay with it now. But I mean, just a little more visual, yeah.
Yeah, I would have, especially coming off of Heaven's movie. That artwork and shit was so great. Those photo shoots were so great. Those videos were so great.
Even their like group albums, there's a lot of work that went into them covers,
Right.
So just going from all of that just to a plain Busy Bone text and the gift is like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
give me something,
Yeah, I would have liked a fresh photo shoot. It reminds me of like Resurrection, and they had that awesome fucking photo shoot of them in all the leather with all wearing like the Crazy Bone, skulls in their hair, and they had this phenomenal photo shoot, and then we got this weird fucking animated cracking earth looking shit, and I'm like, bro, you could have had this. And then the collection volume 2 comes out and they use those photos for the cover, and I'm like, this looks great.
Yeah, the hidden Tupac shit.
Yeah. Did you see my video on that?
Yeah, man. It's just that guy wouldn't answer, and I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
That was something I remember being around way back in the day. In fact, when I brought it up recently, like, when I did that video, people were like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, this was like a thing. I remember during when Resurrection was first dropping, this was like a fucking thing.
Yeah, one of my friends showed me to that in high school when it came out. It's like, hey, I think it says Tupac under here. It's like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, but it's kind of cool with the mystery, but at the same time, it's like, I think enough time went by to like, all right, you can just tell us now.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think it is. I assume it's not. That's my assumption, because it's like he said in the interview, he's like, Bone didn't really have that much to do with the artwork, but back then, we really all felt like, yo, these guys like hand in hand with their artwork. Like, this must be a regular thing that they do. They work the fucking artwork, and then to find out that they didn't, that was kind of like I guess the soul crushing part of the doing the show was like Julio telling us like, yeah, man, basically Donald Cunningham came up with all that E1999 Eternal shit. Like Bone didn't know anything about it. Bone kind of didn't like it in the end, that they were made out to be evil motherfuckers.
I know that's why Busy didn't want his face painted.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know what any of that shit meant. He's like, I don't want that shit on my face. I don't know what it means,
That story's changed to me a bunch, because, he said he didn't want his face painted like he was there and just didn't paint his fucking face, but he literally wasn't fucking there. Like those photos. And when you look at the inside photo, I remember getting the Art of War and just feeling like that inside photo of him shirtless, I'm like, this really doesn't fit for some reason. This seems out of place. And now I find out years later, well, it's because he wasn't even there. They just had to use a fucking photo of him.
Yeah, it's. I wish you would have been a little more involved in like the videos and stuff of that era.
Yeah. Him in the
That
Art
would have
of
been
War,
cool.
stuff. I did,
Uh-huh.
because obviously he wasn't in Look Into My Eyes, right? How did you feel the first time you saw it and like they hold up that picture of Busy Bone?
I'm like, well, of course we didn't have the internet or any of that shit back then. So I'm like, where's this dude at?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, where is this guy?
Yeah.
It's crazy how far we've come on information. It's like you said, we had to find out shit from commercials on TV or reading it in a magazine. Now it's everywhere. Information is everywhere.
Did you like that they left Busy Bone in stuff? Like when he didn't go to the video, or did you prefer like when they did Home and they fucking cut him out of it?
Uh, well, I'll go with your example for home. Now, Busy's my favorite,
Mm-hmm.
but when it comes to that situation, those guys went over there and did the shit with Phil. They literally went to where he was at. So I think it was only fair that they cut him out of the video.
Do you feel like they should have cut him out of other ones, like Art of War ones?
Um, I want to say yes and no, but I mean, like, what do you do when somebody doesn't show up? You know, like I can imagine if I was in a group and somebody wasn't showing up on purpose, is like, what do you do?
Yeah.
It's a really tough one. I mean, I can use try to do like a personal experience, like what would I have done if that was my group, or try to look at it from their point of view, like the other members. You know what I mean?
I've tried to find more information when they say that they were supposed to do Saturday Night Live around that time and Busy Bone didn't show up and that's why they didn't do it, because that's something I've always heard, but I've looked for information on that since and never been able to actually fucking actually find and confirm that. I just remember at that time, again, that's one of those things that just at that time everybody on like the boards and shit talked about was, oh, they were supposed to do Saturday Night Live, Busy Bone didn't show up, now they're not fucking doing it. You question how many opportunities like that were missed. Busy says, well, look, I missed those opportunities because we weren't getting the money that we deserved. And the other hand, Lazy and them are like, hey, we did these things to generate more opportunities so we would start to get the money. It's hard to say what the right decision was. Busy was kind of like, hey, we're fucking superstars. Tamika needs us. If we all hold out together, she has to give us what we want. But if you guys just make me hold out, then we're fucked. And I mean, that is kind of what happened. Do you think if they would have all held out, it would have helped their situation, or would she just say fuck them and shelf them?
I think it would have skipped a whole era of bullshit, of them like beefing with each other and Busy going off and his whole journey and making all those albums he did. I think it would have skipped a lot of all of that if they would have just banded together. If they could have seen what he was talking about, because at the end of the day, we look at it now, and he was on to something back then.
Yeah,
that was years and years ago, and he seen that already, what was going on.
Yeah.
So I think we could have had a better Bone albums and more Bone albums if they would have banded together.
Yeah, and I do think that she probably would have given in to their demands most likely, because it wasn't, during Easy's reign, he had a big roster. So it was like, oh, if you fuck around and put Easy in this predicament, he don't give a fuck because he'll shelf you. We got so many artists. But when we interviewed Silky Fine, she made it pretty clear, like after Easy died everybody but Bone Thugs and Harmony got chopped. She saw Bone as the money. They were the future. She didn't need Silky Fine. She didn't need any of these people. She just wanted Bone. Bone was like the sole source of income. If they would have said, fuck you, bitch, give us what we want, I do think maybe not initially, but I do think she would have been like, I need to make this happen. I often wonder if those contracts just made them feel, in a fearful situation, like we got to do this regardless if we want to or not.
Yeah. I mean, part of it could have been like they wanted to. I don't know. Everything got fucked when Easy passed. I think they wanted to do it to help, I don't know, finish out with their agreement with him. But at the end, shit got so fucked up to where at the end of it, yeah, they all wanted out of Ruthless, nothing to do with it. I wish they would admit that in an interview somewhere. I'm waiting to hear that.
Yeah, this is probably going to be tough at this point. At this point, they seem, including Busy, they all seem pretty, like, in a good spot with Tamika. They don't see, even though there's probably bad to say, they kind of seem like, all right, we've made up. We're not going to talk any more shit, which is interesting. When I see Busy Bone even be, like, cool about the Tamika situation, I'm like, is there something in play here in the background? Is this what Busy's been alluding to? That would be the best case situation, not to re-sign them, but if Ruthless or Tamika and Bone could come to some sort of agreement now where they would split funds or something like that, if Bone helped promote an unreleased album from Ruthless or something, that's probably best case scenario, for that.
I think that would do well, because I myself and a lot of other collectors, like even just today, is like asking about unreleased, and who's to say how much shit is in a vault somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know what I mean?
Shit they forgot, I'm sure. Like I said, Crazy Bone specifically recorded so much shit that it's like there's probably song on song that he forgot about. I see fans ask about Strictly for My Grind, and it gets danced around, but I think it gets danced around because I truly don't think any of them even know what the fuck it is. I think you would have to play it for them to even, like, recollect what that even is.
Yeah, like what Romeo was saying, he was showing stuff to Crazy. It's like, oh, shit, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
And
he said there's so many versions of stuff, when they record, that it's like it changes. He was telling me one time about how they had a song and it was going to be one thing, and then they changed it up so much that they ended up renaming it, because it kind of became a totally different song. Hunter says they all said they wanted out back in the late 90s Planet Groove interview, I believe. Yeah, I remember them getting open about wanting the fuck out of Ruthless. But Busy Bone's approach was different. And interesting enough, oftentimes Busy will point out that he was a minor when he signed his contract, and that kind of gave him the freedom to do what Busy Bone did. The rest of them probably didn't have that same type of freedom. They probably felt like they were under some sort of legal scrutiny that maybe Busy Bone didn't feel like he was under because of his age. I've always wondered about that. That story's always kind of seemed clouded about his age and him signing and how that all kind of fucking happened.
Yeah, you think you'd need some kind of consent or something for a contract like that?
Yeah, I would assume some sort of parental consent, but maybe he got it.
Yeah.
Maybe he got that consent. I really don't know. It's so hard to say. I would have liked to seen one more official Ruthless album with, like, the Ruthless train really behind it and Bone really behind it. It's too bad that she didn't have the foresight to see, I'm going to lose the best and only thing that I have here. Their contract is running low. How do I get them to re-sign? Because there was a way. We want to say there wasn't. Like, once their contract was out, they were like, I'm never fucking coming back here. But it's not true. She could have said, okay, you fulfilled your contract. let's give you the deal you deserve now. And I do think they would have resigned. Maybe not Busy. Busy was pretty fucking done by then, but the rest of them may have resigned if they would have got what they were owed. But hey, maybe Busy would have too, because he just wanted what the fuck they were owed.
Yeah, if she would have, like you said, if she would have made things right, it's like, all right, here's your guys' shit. Here's what, in the new deal, I'll give you what you deserve and have you more control and everything. Let's do a couple more albums.
Oh.
I think it would have been awesome.
Yeah, that would have been the best. There's nothing like the Ruthless albums, and I don't know what that is exactly. That made them so great. We try to say it was DJ Unique. There's all kinds of reasons why people believe that those albums to be the best. I don't really know. Funny enough, the most successful that Bone has ever been in their career is under Tamika Wright.
Mm-hmm.
They were
That's true.
They were pretty successful under Eazy-E, but Eazy-E wasn't, Tamika Wright was most of the direction on Eternal. People think that it was Easy, but it wasn't. I remember reading this interview where, they asked Crazy if Easy got to hear Eternal, and he was basically like, he heard some of it, but he was pretty sick and dying by the time it was, there. So the most success they've ever had is under Tamika Wright, and it's interesting to think of what that Ruthless magic was, because it was more than just DJ Unique.
Yeah. I mean, I guess one of our last glimpses at anything like that might have been the Art of War 3. That could have been something similar to that if everybody was on board, at least as far as a group. Because like Unique was part of that too, and I think they could have made something that could have been a lot better. I know we've talked about it before, but
we have.
It could have been something. I mean, it's not bad what it is, but man, that had so much potential.
Oh yeah, it's super subpar in comparison to what the fuck it could have been. Yeah, you're right. We've talked about it before, and I've brought up how those initial snippets came out well before the actual product did, because that album got canceled like twice before it finally happened. And I remember those initial snippets coming out, and I heard Busy Bone on so many of those snippets, and I was like, dude, this guy's in his prime right now. I mean, he is bringing us the heat of the heat, and it happened at such an unfortunate time. It happened during that fucking crazy Wish leaving the group, Australia fucking thing, and it's too bad. But you are right. That was like, I don't know if it was gonna be Ruthless, but man, those initial snippets, they were really gold. Like these were waiting to be a real big record, and instead it became kind of like a throwaway thing. Flesh and Bone came in and really helped it, but it was subpar Flesh and Bone for most of it, with like A+++ Busy Bone. It was hard to sound good with Busy on those songs because he brought so much heat.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Wish and Crazy were there, I think they would have pushed each other.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I got to rewrite this shit. I can do better.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like when they're all in together making that greatness, they push each other and they fuck it, whatever.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
man.
It could have been something.
Crazy Bone actually involved with those songs and not just, unreleased fucking songs, but him actually, Crazy Bone on that like 100K song, man, like actually putting in work. The 100K shit happened at a time where the auto-tune revolution was blowing up. And I remember hearing Busy Bone drop that hook, and I was like, dude, this is DJ Khaled level shit right here. This could be on a DJ Khaled album right now. This is really fucking hitting.
Yeah. I mean, so many things over the years that should have been more than what they were, even as far as singles.
Yeah, I don't, somebody asked earlier about, if I see Bone coming back stronger in 2021, and I do see at least the four, doing what they've done, which is they're going to tour heavy, heavy, heavy. But I mean, I don't, for outside of like features, meaning people featuring Bone Thugs and Harmony, I don't foresee any Bone Thugs and Harmony music.
Yeah.
Um, and, and it all comes down to the money. It really does. Like, I hate to say
Yep.
that it doesn't, but it comes down to the money because these guys are around each other, at least those four, making records is something they could do. But then they end up splitting that bag heavy, and nobody's coming with the bread they want, and they must ultimately make the most money doing individual shit, except for I guess the group shows.
Yeah, I agree. It just sucks. I mean, it's good for them, but I mean, at the same time, it's like at least do a group song now and again. Shit,
Yeah, that's what
At least that.
If they did that even once in a while, even just for streaming, it would, I
Mhm.
think, change the way that the fan perception right now. And we know something like that's possible because Mercules just put out that song and Busy Bones on it.
The homicide.
Yeah, so it's possible here. We had talked in the last live about what made Lord better than that because it was like, yo, this is so good, but it's not quite as good as Lord. And what is that? And it was brought up that Lord, they all recorded together in a room together, whereas Homicide seems like it was all recorded in different fucking places. So
Yeah, it came together in like 2 days, I think.
yeah. Still,
Um,
great track, but it's definitely not Lord level, but it got me excited. I was like, this is what I want to hear right here.
mhm. Yeah, awesome track, but it could have been a lot of these songs. They just could have been a little more, but I, I'm still glad we got it anyway.
Antonio says, has anyone addressed Bone being on the Point song and video prior to Notorious Thugs? We've talked about it a little bit on here. I always feel like that it's like one of those standout Bone Thugs and Harmony moments, them being on such a star-studded roster. That song was remixed a bunch of times. Busta Rhymes, Redman, Notorious B.I.G., Bone. It's a big roster. Unfortunately, at that time, because of the lineup I just mentioned, Bone kind of got swept under. They were up and coming at that time, and those were heavyweights. So they kind of got swept under the rug. They went under the radar for that track, which is too bad. I used to love the '90s posse cuts like that. I loved when Mo Thugs did it. I loved when people did it like the Points. And we don't see as much of that anymore. So yeah, we haven't talked about it much, Antonio. But I do love that song. I love all the remixes as well. Do you have that CD single, Turok? The Points? That's one of the ones I want.
I had it. I had it in my sights on eBay one time, but I didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah.
It was just a single with all the different remixes on it.
Yeah, that's the one.
It was like a silver one.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, it's only like $30. I'll wait till payday. The shit was gone. I should have just bought it. I was like, man, see, that's like the whole thing. Sometimes you just gotta pull the trigger, and sometimes, it'll come up later. And I haven't seen the damn thing since.
That's like one of those things that it's like, oh, I want it, but it's got to be the right price because I don't want it that bad, but I do want it. But like sometimes I see it because I've seen it on eBay and shit. A lot of times what I do is I'll search Notorious B.I.G. the Points instead of Bone because I'll see people, Biggie fans posting it, right? And usually for less price because Bone fans are crazy. But then other times I see it for $50, $60 and I'm just like, nah,
Yeah.
this doesn't make sense.
I think next time it comes out, I think I'm just gonna grab it and be done with it.
Yeah.
One of those things, just get it and whatever.
Let's see.
There was a remix on one of those. I think it was the War Is On mixtape, where the music shuts off and it gets to Busy's part, and it's just like a cappella. To me, I think that's like his fastest verse ever.
I'll have to check that out. I don't know if I have that. I'll have to look.
The beat just stops like after Crazy's done rapping. It's a pretty cool mix.
It must be just one of the remixes on there.
Yeah, it's one of the.
Yeah, I've heard them all.
It's a Bone mixtape. but it's a pretty good one.
What did you think of the extensive push that first of the month got? That had like 100, like like actual official remixes, like the fucking CD
Yeah,
singles, and some of them are good, some of them are trash, but that had so many remixes. I own probably 5 or 6 different first of the month singles.
yeah. I picked one up too. It's in like a cardboard sleeve, and it has the for promotional use only sticker on it, and it's just the first of the month song, and Thuggish Ruggish Bone on there. That's it.
Hmm.
I don't think it's rare or anything, but I just thought it was something a little
It's just
different.
different and cool. Yeah, that's the shit I like. That's the imports is where you see that kind of shit happen. Them merging
Mhm.
like shit from multiple albums and stuff.
Yeah,
Um, it-
it wasn't crazy expensive or anything, but it was just a little different. That's
what's
what I like.
was it you that I talked to about the? I think it's a Thuggish Ruggish Bone single, but it's double disc and maybe it's For the Love of Money that's also in it or some
Oh
shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
That
That's a pretty cool single.
Yeah,
It
that
is.
that one's like when we were talking about like top gems. I'm like, that's a top gem right there. Thuggish Ruggish Bones
Hmm.
CD singles, just in general, not even that one. That's like one of those on my list that I'm like, man, I'd love to have that someday. Never mind that double disc. That's like, yeah, right type of shit for me.
Yeah, and all the artwork on that's different too,
Yeah,
which is awesome. Which is awesome. It's not on my list, but I respect the hell out of it for what it is.
yeah. Yeah, that shit's really cool. I love that artwork, the creeping on a come up artwork, because that was a totally different artist than what they had after that, because like for the next bunch of albums after that, they had basically the same 2 guys working on it, but at the beginning it was totally different, and I like the way that it kind of like was the same feeling, but it evolved, and that artwork is such. I know a lot of us love it, but when we really think about it, like that artwork and the imagery, a lot of that is what really sealed the deal on Bone for a lot of us. Like that shit sucked us the fuck in, the way that they handled like the imagery and shit. Hunter says he has the double disc. I think
That's
it's the
dope.
double disc that he's talking about anyway. Did you
That
know
would
the
be a good one for
skull?
the Bone Collector show.
Did you know the skull picture on Creeping on a Come Up was actually a lighter on the hood of a car? I had no idea. I've tried to interview the artist that made the Creeping on a Come Up artwork. We've had contact with him a bunch of times. Bone Thugs NL even got him to make a Beyond the Harmony logo in the same font. He hand drew Beyond the Harmony in the same font as Creeping on a Come Up. Was totally down to do it, but I couldn't get him to come on and talk Creeping on a Come Up artwork.
That would have been dope.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to talk to him. I really love talking to the artists. I've tried to get Donald Cunningham a lot too. I've talked to him in great detail online, but he just doesn't want to come on the show and talk Bone. I always surmise that something fucked up happened there because Donald and Julio were there together at Ruthless, Eternal, Art of War, and then by Resurrection, Donald was out and Julio was the only one left there. So I've always wondered what went on. Tyree was also there, and he went on to be, for Bob's Burgers and shit. So they made quite the shift in the art direction. And we could see that too, right? Like we talked about it, Resurrection, like what an artistic difference visually that was from anything in the past.
Hmm. It's like I like I like the poster that was the CD booklet
Oh yeah.
that it folded into.
Yeah, yeah,
That should
yeah.
have been that should have been the damn cover.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that
Stuff
as
like
a
that.
CD display. I think everybody's heard that story where I hounded
Hmm.
Sam Goody till they gave me that fucking display. And yeah, it had that inside poster at the bottom of it, and I thought that would have been a great cover.
Definitely.
TC wants
Um,
to know thoughts on the Art of War limited coin, one of my favorite for bone collectors. I've tried to grab that. there's been a few times I've seen it in the right price range and I tried to pick it up and just lost. And then other times I see it in a fucking stupid price range.
Uh-huh.
And then sometimes I see it in a price range, but it's had the brake speed off of it. And I'm like, I'm not
Yeah,
paying
it's.
$200 for this beat to shit thing.
I think the concept of it is cool, but I think it would have been even better if it was an actual gold coin.
It was what? It was like a pre-order exclusive or some shit for the Art of War, I'm pretty
I
sure.
think it came on. I don't know which store it is. It came with the CD. I think
Yeah. I think if you did a
something like
pre-order
that.
through like FYE or whatever the fuck back in the day,
One
I
of
think
those.
that I
Yeah,
think you would get it as a pre-order thing.
kind of like that. What was it? Thug Stories had a keychain on one of them or some
Yeah.
shit. Something like that.
That was the cool shit again though in the 90s. They were pushing you to get
Uh-huh.
albums if you went and did a pre-order, you got cool shit like that. Um there's really not much of that. I know that Blaze and Busy tried to do it with the new, the newer Busy albums
Uh-huh.
and it was good. The attempt was good, but there was something just not quite satisfying for me about it. I couldn't put my hand on what it was, but there wasn't enough in any of those packages that I really loved it. Like for example, the what was it? The carbon monoxide gold
Uh-huh.
edition. I was just like, man, this should have like a bunch of bonus tracks on it or something that tickles my balls enough to want to spend this much money on it besides it's got a gold cover.
Like I would have liked them just recording it.
Oh, like
Like it
video and
and
shit?
yeah, like just some like old school shit like that. Like with the collection volume 1 and 2. It just shows like them recording some stuff. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a missed. I think that was visually that was a big miss during the Busy Blaze era was that they did do a great job getting busy on like, Big Boy in the Neighborhood and fucking Mike Tyson and all that kind of shit. And
Uh-huh.
but you are right, the behind the scenes, I mean, and I don't know why they don't catch on to this, them meaning Bone. It's like what is like one of the most prized things that we got during the 90s? It was the collection VHS because it tapped us in with them personally. And it's like from that time forward, you would think they would see like, oh, they 50% care about the music. They 50% just care about us. But I like seeing them recording and shit like that. When they all do lives and it's just like me looking at their face while they talk or Lazy Bone drunk with Rocky Rock, I'm just like, whatever.
Like like the Alpha and Omega DVD
Oh, yeah.
and the crazy the Gemini DVD.
Yeah, I love the
You know,
Gemini
both
DVD.
of both of those, like something like that. Two good examples right there.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love the Gemini DVD. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great DVD. That was the one. I always bring this up. There's that scene with Lazy Bone in the Gemini DVD, and he's like, it's like the saddest I think I've ever seen Lazy Bone, and he's just like, they don't care about you. I can't remember what he says, and he's just like talking about how like motherfuckers don't care, even though like he's done all this shit for them, and like the emotion that he was putting off, even though it was like
Mhm.
emotionless. I was like, damn, bro, this really tapped me in with him. This moment really like, put it in perspective because that guy takes some heat. He's taking heat on this show from a lot of people. Like, people really put the heat on Lazy Bone that he's like a fucking bad guy because of the money and shit. But the flip side is the motherfuckers put damn near all of Cleveland in
Uh-huh.
reach of fame at some point.
I know exactly what you're talking about. He's like crouching down, smoking a
Yes.
cigarette.
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking
Yes.
about. And yeah, it's true. Like there was some footage about like that Bone for Life and they're recording all that bullshit. And he's arguing with Busy over the phone.
Yes. Yeah.
And he goes walking, just talking shit. But at the end, he says, "But oh, what does he say? Nobody loves him more than I do," or something like that.
Yeah.
At the say after all that shit, arguing, talking shit, everything. He still says that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's the glue. For better or worse, that guy is the he's the glue, and I've always attributed that, Lazy Bone. I wouldn't say 100% of the time, but I would say the most of the time, Lazy's the guy that held the group together. Like we still have Bone Thugs and Harmony because of Lazy Bone. Like he's really been the guy. He really held it the fuck down. And kept them. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. Crazy may be the leader in the booth and on songs and shit, but I mean, Lazy is the lead of this whole fucking act, and he
Uh-huh.
takes so much heat. He takes so much flack. I don't think the guy's perfect. I think he's made mistakes. Maybe some of them honest, maybe some of them dishonest. I think that's everybody walking the earth. But man, the guy's a fucking worker. He's really put his work in for this brand.
I agree 100%.
Yeah. I hope that I hope that Lazy Bone gets his just due. I think it's in that same video that you were talking about that he like runs into some fans or something. They're talking about it, and he's like, "Busy Bone's probably your favorite," or some
Yep.
shit. And
And
I
he's like,
I felt so
who
bad.
named you? Or I named you.
Yeah,
I named you Busy Bone, you know.
yeah. I
It's just,
I didn't like, even though like I liked that, it was weird, right? It was like it's like I I dirtily like that. Like it was like, ooh, I like seeing this drama, but at the same time I was like, I don't like that they put this out for us all to see
yeah.
like this on a DVD. Lazy Bone talking shit all drunk to Busy Bone. I don't really like this. Like I do, but I don't.
Well, just like that one show they did where they're all wearing red.
Yeah.
It was just a shit show. And they were all arguing, and Busy was just fucking wasted. And he went off. But like at the end, like him and Lazy just started hugging, you know. But it's just like all that kind of drama. It's like, yeah, we know shit's bad, but man, I kind of don't want to see it. It's more of like I hate seeing a group like Bone go through that shit.
Do you think it's fixable? Like at this point, like is it fixable to the point that they got another good album? Like could they put together another good album, or are we at the point that it's like we shouldn't even try it? We're gonna get a bigger pile of shit than Unifive.
Um, I think there's a lot of factors that need to go into that, and I think it was briefly mentioned before. Like if they all got on the same page, like for example, in Busy's last live, he talked a little bit about the Unified, and he said that he was just paid for his verses instead of taking a percentage because he knew ahead of time that they weren't going to promote it or do shit with it. And then he says that's exactly what happened. So
Wow.
that's why I think it ended up that way.
That's a big risk to take, just getting paid
Mm-hmm.
flat rate. You're basically getting paid like feature, rate, which is
Yeah.
what I assume they did with Flesh and Bone, back during Art of War and shit. It's a big gamble because if it pops, you gave up a lot, but you are right. He kind of knew from the
Mm-hmm.
past what it's gonna be.
And it didn't. I don't think it sold worth shit. Like thousands of copies, something like that. 30,000. I don't know, but so in that instance, he probably made the right move. But when you got a member that's thinking like that already, obviously not everybody's on the same page. And he was in that same mindset kind of with New Waves. He wanted them to promote the shit out of it, but they wanted like 250,000 or some shit for
Yeah,
radio or something. I
yeah.
don't know, something like that. And that could have been something too.
I remember
And somebody,
during New Waves, I was booking shows, and I had talked to August Keene about booking Crazy and Busy, and mind you, I've booked Busy Bone a few times, so I kind of know the rate that he goes for. So I'm thinking, okay, well, with Crazy Bone, right, we'll double it up and add a little. But it was it was such an astronomical price, and then that tour never got off the ground. And I was just like, well, of course, you guys are out here looking for dumb fucking money for the two of them together. It was supposed to be pretty amazing. It was supposed to have a whole band and fucking dude there that made all the beats from Europe was supposed to DJ the whole thing, and
Yeah. I remember, like in my last live I was talking about, I went to the first show. It was supposed to be him and Crazy, and Crazy ended up canceling, so it just turned into a busy show, which was still awesome. Did he do
new wave shit, or did he just do old shit?
No, he did his old shit. Like, I was kind of hoping for it, but I don't know how much sense it would have really made just doing his parts.
Right, of the new wave.
You know
songs.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is new shit, but I'm just gonna do my parts. I mean, it would have been cool, don't get me wrong, but I mean, I get it. It's like, I don't want to do this shit if Crazy's not here. But I guess I'm just he threw a pretty good playlist together, like I got to hear All I'll Ever Know live.
Oh, that's dope.
That was the first time he did that live, and he had Little Busy there, and I got to hear Busy's in the house. So just things like that.
Here's a question I have for anybody in the chat that may know. When Bone goes live, they do all kinds of different shit. They, of course, do Bone Thugs and Harmony songs, but they do a ton of their solo shit. They do a medley of all their stuff. Do Busy and Crazy, and I guess the answer is going to be no, because they don't do shows with Busy and Crazy, but are any new wave songs done at all live at this point by anybody? I would assume no. I would assume that there's nothing on there that they really do, because Busy and Crazy aren't doing shows together. But even if they were, is there anything worth doing live that the fans would appreciate? Maybe if Heaven had a cell phone?
I would like to hear something
from New Waves.
Yes.
I just don't know what they would do at a Bone Thugs and Harmony show. Like in the perfect world, if Busy's doing live shows with them, what would be the song to slide in live from New Waves during a Bone Thugs and Harmony set? Oh, John says Coming Home.
I would agree with that one, and then maybe throw in the Lazy verse.
Yeah. Well, because were they all on it, or was it just Lazy that was on it? Before it turned into the new wave shit.
I think Lazy was originally on it, because that's on that the Miza mix or whatever the hell. Right. Lazy's on there. Yeah, TQ.
Yeah.
So if they kind of combine the two, I think it would be a nice little gem in the set list.
John says Ruthless. I would you know what? I'd love to hear Ruthless live. I think that might be my favorite song on New Waves.
Not Bottle Service.
It's tough. Like I love Bottle Service, as we know. I
know they've done that live.
Yeah. Just as them though, right? Just Busy and Crazy, not during like some Bone shit.
I would have loved to have been in that crowd though, just to hear it, at least hear something from that album, It kind of feels like it went to waste.
Shutter in the house from The Life Hip Hop Originals podcast. Shout out to Shutter, you're getting here late. I'm just about to wind this podcast down. Brother Clay coming in at the end. I liked Ruthless. Jay Castro really enjoying this good shit. I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. We lost a bunch of viewers partway through. This was literally, I said to John earlier, I go, no pressure, buddy, but I think I'm going to go live. I'm bored. I think I'm going to go live. I said, I'll hold the ship down myself if I have to. Luckily, Turok called in a little while ago, and we've been kicking shit. Before I end it, if anybody else wants to call in and shop it up, the meeting ID is in the description. It's scrolling at the bottom. I guess I'll read it too. It's 820-3684-2823. That's the Zoom ID. Call in before I lock this motherfucker down. Oh, shit. What just happened? What just happened on my screen? Hip Hop Originals just subscribed. Shout out to Shutter for subscribing. You guys just saw that pop up on the screen. You can hit the super chat. You'll pop up on the screen. You can head over to streamlabs.com/beyondtheharmony. Drop a donation as well. Whatever happened to Night Riders? Bro, go listen to the Mohart or the Jazz or the Sin interview. We talk about it a lot, but the nuts and bolts are they try to do a weird voice-changing, face-painted pirate group with a bunch of fucking guys that shit had already not worked out with. It didn't work out again.
Oh man, did anyone see the live show of that on YouTube?
Oh yeah. Oh
Fuck,
yeah.
see,
It's cringy.
it's. I had to turn it off. I'm like, oh man, no.
Mo
like
Hart
the
talks
song.
about it. Mo Hart talks about it in his interview.
I like the song. Don't get me wrong, but come on.
Yeah, it was kind of cringy. Mo Hart talks about it in his interview. Mo Hart talks about how, because I asked him, I said, hey, was it a Night Riders performance? Like, what the fuck was going on? And it sounds like it was almost like a I don't know if this is who it was, but like when Power 106 does like a big show with all kinds of different acts and shit, it sounds like it was something like that. And I remember asking him, like, how did it go? And he's like, look, the three of us were basically makeup up and pirated up the whole fucking time, but Crazy Bone wasn't until it was time. And then they all took stage and did it. And I don't know, it was really the live show was the nail in the coffin for me on that thing. I was just like, man,
Yeah.
they're not it was cool because it was thought out to be different. I was like, oh, okay, they're using the lapel mics. That way they can be very, visual with their hands and shit. And it was like, it was thought out, but that doesn't make it a good idea. I would have rather them just have a fucking mic and be rapping at me like pirates, like with a mic in their hand normal, not all that weird fucking shit they did.
Yeah, I don't think it was like live either. I think they just played the track. That's what it sounded like anyway. I mean, come on.
I see Matt. I see John. The Matt and John, they might both call in. My co-hosts might both call in. I see them talking in our private chat about it. These motherfuckers are hilarious. These guys are hilarious. John sat back this whole time and watched me just run the show on my own.
I like to throw a sneak peek out there.
Sneak it, bro. There's only a few viewers right now. Who's even gonna... Ooh. I'm trying to think of what that could be.
Some should get it, but
I think Hunter's still in here. If anybody's got a shot at knowing what that is, it's gonna be Hunter. It's gonna be Hunter. Oh, we got John too. Here, we'll bring John right in with us. I'm down for that.
Oh, one thing I am looking for is the Heavens movie poster.
John, why are you making us echo so bad, bro? There you go, buddy. Mr. Lippy, Mrs. Lippy.
What's up?
Yo, hold up. I'm trying to get these headsets in here.
It's still trying to connect. Gang. John's got he's got the glasses on, the looking at the screen glasses. The Lippies have been putting together their 3D printer, and it looks like a frustrating weekend of fury. Oh, everybody's excited.
Big fails today, John, with the 3D printer.
John, Turok's been my guest
I'm on
host.
the wrong computer, man. I don't think this is going to work.
Can you not hear us, John?
I can hear him.
Yeah, I hear John.
Yo. I'm delayed, bro. It's like, and I'm getting the echoes.
John, call me on your phone. Just get Zoom on your phone and call me like a regular guest.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
What'd you do, John? Everybody wants you. You're the real guy here. If Matt Weaver calls in, Matt Weaver is the undisputed MVP of the show, and nobody even knew it. Oh, do we lose? All right. think that was John. All right, John signed out. His shit was broken. Patrick says this was definitely a nice surprise. Matt Weaver, John is the real guy. Matt Weaver in the building. My boy Matt. They're all coming at the end. I was like, I'm gonna do this till about 10 o'clock. Nah, here we are, 10 o'clock Eastern, and this is when everyone's hopping in. Turok, we'll put together the first episode of the Bone Collector. I put up a post a little while ago. It's pretty funny. Bone collecting is a weird thing because I put up a post like, you know, hey, who wants to come on and do this, right? I basically framed it the same way I framed it to everybody tonight, and it was so weird. A bunch of the collectors almost seemed like like offended, like they didn't want to show their shit. Like yo, I can't be showing off this rare shit to all these regular ass Bone fans. Like, fuck that. I can only show this to other heavy collectors. And I'm like, I don't know the point of this. I don't have friends like that want to come over and see my Bone shit. The only people that want to see my Bone shit are on the internet. If you don't even want to show it to people on the internet, I don't even know why the fuck you got it.
Yep.
But a bunch of people seem kind of offended by it. So I'm glad you're down to show your shit off because that's what I want.
Yeah, if I could, I'd show you everything I have. I mean, exactly. Why not? Why not?
We got
Why
multiple episodes like that, you know. If we do a piece at a time, we got a bunch of episodes. Oh, we got Matt Weaver. Is Matt Weaver shit gonna work? Wow, when all my friends call in as guests, my co-host call in as guests. Maybe. Looks like we got Matt audio.
I can't find my headphones.
You and John, both of you, same situation. Same situation. All right, Turok, I'm gonna chop it up with Matt. You got anything else you want to drop on me before I let you go?
Yes. One thing I am looking for is the Heavens movie poster. So if anybody has that for sale, that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be fire. Do you own a lot of that too, like a lot of posters and shit like that, or are you primarily a CD guy?
A little bit of this and that. I got posters, you know, a press kit, CDs, tapes.
I love a good press kit, bro.
Some of the old jewelry, a lot of like the Bone gear, like new and old. I still buy new stuff.
I got I got an internal press kit that's fire. That came with the photo. It's got the food stamp card. That's actually a postcard. I actually own two of those. Julio sent me one as well, and
those are dope.
Yeah, and Donald told me a really cool story about those. That the reason why those became so rare, that food stamp coupon, was they got a call from whatever the feds, whoever's in charge of that department,
shit.
And they said that they were basically fucking like they had to destroy them because it was like counterfeiting in some degree. And so he said most of those got fucking destroyed. A bunch of them went out to radio, and the ones that didn't, they all got destroyed because originally they have like a way, they're supposed to be a postcard. They actually have a place for like a stamp and shit on them on the back. And yeah, they all got destroyed because of the feds. So that food coupon that we all see the image of was a real thing, and the feds made Bone destroy it, or Ruthless anyway.
Well, it's made it even more rare. Yeah. I'm sure somebody tried to use one.
Yeah.
That's why I'm sure if there's a rule behind it, somebody fucked it up for everybody else in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you guys heard it here. Turok's looking for the Heavens movie poster. If you got two, I'll take one too. I fucked up that they had Art of War posters, original prints. There were like 4 or 5 of them on eBay a couple months back, and pretty good price. They were like $80, and I should have picked one up, and I didn't. And it was a fucking mistake.
That's one of those things. I got a couple of them. Maybe we can work out a deal sometime or something.
You let me know. You got all the good stuff. I don't have shit. You got all the good stuff.
I got an extra. Nobody can stop me too. So maybe we can do something. Maybe we can do something.
Along with the 10 copies of Thug's Cry. Turok owns 10 of them. There's like 6 more floating around the internet somewhere.
51%.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a Heavens movie press kit?
I've never heard of a Heavens movie press kit. Never seen one. Never heard of one. anything like that. It's interesting with Heaven's movie, like how it was handled from that perspective, that it didn't have a bunch of that shit with it. Press kits and things like that. I mean, at least I've never seen one.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Turok, I want to thank you for calling in, keeping me company all night. Wouldn't have been a good show without you. And yeah, hit me up. Send me a message on Facebook, and let's start to work this out. You'll have to kind of give me a little preview of what you want to do so I can set the interview up, and yeah, we'll jump on. We'll do the Bone Collector and start showing off your stuff.
Yeah, as long as you don't get mad at me.
I mean, if it's something I really want, I'm gonna, I'll be a little bit. Hey, before I let you go, do you own a copy of the first edition Graveyard Shift that Romeo put out?
No, I do not.
I know somebody that does. I know a bunch of people that own the one that Romeo put out the second time on Amazon, and those are whatever. But that first edition one, I have not seen many of those. What do you think that's worth in bone culture?
Oh, that would be up there with like the rare ones.
Yeah.
It'd be in the hundreds.
Yeah, I fucked up not getting that when I had the chance back in the day.
It'd be in the hundreds.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Turok, thank you for calling in, brother. I'll be in touch with you soon, my man.
All right.
Take
Thanks,
care.
everybody. Have a good night.
My man, Turok. Matt Weaver, what's happening? Fresh off vacay.
Man, I almost didn't come back. I was in Mexico.
Oh, John, you still got us echoing, John? What's your problem, bro?
John, you been on here the whole time?
No, I just let him back in. Looks like maybe he started up his other computer.
Every time I try to leave.
Yeah, I'm sitting around. I'm sure you saw the messages. I was like, I'm kind of bored. I got an off day. I think I'm going to do Beyond the Harmony. I was like, I don't want the guys to feel pressured. I'm just going to go on there. The first, 15 minutes, I'm just sitting here. Took me a minute to get warmed up, and then I just started going. But the first, 10 minutes, I'm just like, I don't really know what I'm going to talk about. You know me. I didn't write any, John would give me, a list. Here's some shit we can talk about. I had nothing. I just jumped the fuck in.
So people got a glimpse of casual Cecil.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. We had the same issue that I had last time, which is I started with a fucking live, and then something happened, and that live got dropped, and then I had to restart it. And once you do back-to-back lives, the algorithm's all fucked up. Patrick, when did you go live? I went at 8 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern, so we've been on about 2 hours. John, is your shit still broken?
No, I'm good, man, and I'm not going to be here long. I just would feel bad. I feel bad if I didn't call in on the show, bro. I'm watching everybody.
I'm wiped out now. It's been 2.5 hours. You guys are here just for the ending.
Yeah. No. It was cute what you had going. It was actually, Talia and I were at the gym listening to the show. It was dope. It was cool.
Yeah, it was, it was fun. I wasn't doing anything. Came on, talked a little bone. For the 10 people watching, you still got time. Streamlabs.com/Beyond the Harmony, or hit the super chat. Donate to Beyond the Harmony. We appreciate all the support that comes through. I've told you guys a few times, I'm going to say it again. We are gearing up for season 4. We've been working on it in the background, making some major changes to the format, including doing all the interviews for season 4 absolutely live, raw, and uncut, no editing at all. So that's what we're going to be looking for. In big time, season 4.
That's big time.
Yeah, this is the make or break season. If anything gets us shut down, it's gonna be season 4.
I can't wait.
Yeah, season 4 is the one. Yeah, there's not much going on. I think I've talked about it all. It's a good thing that I watched fucking Matt's news recap that I put out late as fuck before I came on, or I wouldn't have known anything that was going on in Bone. I've been barely signed in on Facebook, barely watching anything.
That was my favorite one so far. All that Fleshbone news just made my day when I made that video. I apologize for putting. I made it halfway through May, So it's not really a full month of news. So the June one should be nice and juicy. But anyway,
It's great. You made it halfway through May, and I didn't release it until the beginning of June.
I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, it was.
No,
it came out right
I
when
made
it was
sure
meant to come out.
You said something. You said something about it in the video, like that you were going on vacation. So I put like a recorded on date that I think was even later than what you actually did. So people knew. Jay Castro, is the Ghetto Cowboy movie ever gonna come out? Romeo said yes. Take that for what it's worth. Our Romeo interview is like 2 years old.
Yeah, I mean, now's the time with the buzz with Thug Queen live every day for a while there.
Is Sons of Sinclair ever gonna come out?
I forgot about it. Is that bad? I listened to New Waves on the beach in Mexico.
How's that?
Bottle Service is a bad song.
It was the vibe.
Fight me. Fight me.
It's a bad song, he says. All right, it's been nice knowing you, Matt.
Kicked off the Zoom. It's a good album. I find myself going back to New Waves and World War III, and I know you guys aren't World War III fans, but
I am. I'm a big World War III fan.
Oh, I thought we got into a fight over that one.
Not me. No, I always say that album could have been the one if it wasn't all fucked up.
Yeah, I totally agree. It was it just was like everything that I thought was missing.
Yeah.
You could tell it wasn't. You could tell something was off in the production or the business side, but that's normal.
Yeah. Well, it got canceled like twice.
Hey, just me too. I've lost track of how many times I've been canceled. So me and World War III go way back then.
Patrick, do y'all still keep up with Blaze? Absolutely. Will he be back
Blaze
on? Yeah, we'll have him back on. Blaze come on anytime he wants, man. Blaze was on here before he ever did any of the Busy Bone albums. He's like connected to us. So we got Blaze's back no matter what. So yes, he should be back on. I see Capone in the building. I see Capone in the chat. Capone's one of the guys I randomly invited. I went through my contact list on Zoom earlier, and I just like invited all kinds of people.
That's a real live when you just make something happen out of nothing.
Yeah, they got no idea I'm fucking trying to call them. They just pick up my call, and I'm like, yeah, you're live on Beyond the Harmony, motherfucker. Cecil West, what's up? Matt's back. John's got a 3D printer. John, you guys had more 3D printing fails or what?
More, nothing but fails, bro. All day today.
It's really delaying Beyond the Harmony shit. I need you and Talia to hurry the fuck up and knock this 3D printer shit the fuck out.
Yeah, no, well, it's going to be on pause till Thursday. I ordered all these like upgrade parts, and hopefully that will fix the problems that we're having. So
will you be able to 3D print me Bone Thug figurines?
Yeah. If somebody makes, I mean, if you want to make it in Cura 3D or some of the other software, and then we can convert it to a G code file, and it's actually called G code, and I'm not talking juvenile G code, but they're actually called G code files. So if you make it, I'll print it. If somebody made a Bone Thugs and Harmony like the logo, maybe somebody would have done that. But yeah, we could print figures, we could print logos, we could print all kinds of stuff as soon as we get the printer working.
Patrick wants to know your favorite song on Chasing the Devil, John.
Oh, Can't Walk Away, like all day. But I mean, Hold On to Your Soul is a quick second, but Can't Walk Away is definitely my favorite. But I think lyrically, Chasing Nightmares, I keep saying, not lyrically, but like just composition and everything that he did with Chasing Nightmares from like an old school storytelling rap perspective. Check out Chasing Nightmares from that angle and just listen to how intricate Crazy's flow is, the lyrics, just everything, and the special effects and the sound effects. Chasing Nightmares is dope, but Can't Walk Away is my favorite.
I wish I liked that album.
You do, bro. You just don't realize it. There's like so many tracks you like. All right. For instance, the one with Busy Bone. You don't like Brand New Everything?
It's all right.
All right, right, okay, and then
the only one that I like. Listen, I went back and played a bunch of them that I was dogging on, and there was only one that I was like, all right, I didn't give this enough props. Which one was it? It was the one that's got like the major build up, and it just gets crazier as you go through it.
Oh, Hold On to Your Soul.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it must be. And that was the only one when I went back and re-listened that I was like, all right, I slept on this hard. The rest of it was just, it's cool. It's good. It's not that it's bad. It's just not. I was like, this is what the fuck we all fucking.
All right, but you liked Like Fire, right?
Yeah, it's cool.
You liked Ride With Me.
Yeah, it's all right.
I think you were okay with Weapons of Mass Distraction. How'd you feel about Send Me an Angel?
I mean,
That was like the dubstep sounding kind of track.
yeah, it was all right. The whole thing's just fucking all right to me, bro. It's just, I know everybody wants me to be like, yo, Chasing the Devil, but I'm like, this is what we waited for. This is what we had to like coddle Crazy Bone balls for this many years for. Like, come the fuck on.
All right, but then a wise fool.
Where the fuck
one
is
with Kane, bro.
volume 2 and 3 and 4 and all Machiavelli 9 through 20 that we were supposed to get at Chasing the Devil? Where's all that shit?
Okay, but you didn't like the one with Kane, bro. Wise fool. That was dope as shit.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All right, and then what about, there was even one I thought you probably would like because it sounded like kind of East Coasty. It was called The Rise of a King or something about the rise. Yeah, The Rise of the King. Do you remember that one?
Nope. Doesn't even ring a bell.
How'd you feel about Chasing Nightmares? That's the one where he's talking about how he realized he's been selling people bad ideas for his whole career, and now he's trying to make up for it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I thought the album was good. I mean, all right, but to your point, it wasn't 7 years. We waited 7 years for that album.
Oh,
it should have been
God,
fireworks,
Jesus
and
Christ.
but the thing is, it would never be able to live up to any expectations, even if it was super fire. It never would have been 7 years good enough.
Well, that he did the fucking detox thing. You can't do the detox. You can't just work on something and talk about it for 20 fucking years because then it will never come out. You got to just like work on it in silence. Yeah, he detoxed himself.
Matt, what was your take on Chasing the Devil? I never even knew.
It was a very serious album. It was the reason it's a winner is because it's something that an aging rapper could do forever. He got very serious and talked about real world issues and internal issues, not about, you can't do No Surrender forever, and we don't want them to, right? So that was his answer to that. The only time I got to meet him, the only thing I had time to say to him is you need to make more songs like Fire, and that made him smile. So Like Fire is a massive banger that will always be in style, I think.
Yeah. Now that you bring it up, I remember us talking about it, and I got to tell you, dude, I've been laughing to myself for like a month now. Whenever it was when Cecil turned it off, and you go, bro, you turned it off right before the good part, man. I've been cracking up about that the whole time because like I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, dog, what that's what we.
I was just skipping through y'all. Jesus. Chasing the Devil fans, you guys are as bad as Flesh and Bone fans. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Well,
if you didn't finish it, you got to finish it, man.
Yeah, man. Give it one more. I mean, look, it's not.
I have fucking tried. I have fucking John. How many times have I told you, yo, today's the day. I'm gonna listen to Chasing the Devil front to back, and every time I'm like 4 songs in, and I'm like,
Let me ask you this then. All right, through our 20 plus years, did I ever tell you about how Smokey and 808 used to try to get me to buy into thematic albums, meaning like an album that has a theme to it? So it's not just like a series of singles or songs put together as an album, but it's like, so like the Sporty Thieves album and the Sticky Fingers, Trash Garbage, whatever the heck album. So like when this Chasing the Devil came out, I was like, man, I kind of wish I was still in touch with Smokey because I'd like to get his take on, Chasing the Devil. Aside from Ride With Me, the whole album is pretty much on theme. I think Ride With Me was kind of like on some other shit, but the whole album is a storyline from beginning to end. I mean, for that aspect, do you appreciate that Crazy Bone tried to do a thematic type of album? Because that's real hip hoppy. That's real like high level hip hop right there. What do you think?
I mean,
Do you respect that he tried to do it at least?
here's my crazy bone problem. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Same issue I got with Tech 9. You know my Tech 9 issue. It's just like, yeah, we get it. You're fucking awesome. Just do something different. But the problem is, even when he does something different, I'm just like, yeah, we get it, Crazy Bone. We get it. There's just nothing there for me. He's just like, the fucking guy. It's not his fault, bro. He's Bo fucking Jackson. He's done it so well for so long that I'm just not impressed by how well he does it.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt that way with Leaves of Legend. Like, I was happy to hear that you enjoyed it. To me, it was just kind of like, you know.
I liked it because I was high out of my mind. You remember the first time I tried to listen to Leaves of Legends, I was like, what in the fuck am I even doing? But then the second time, I rolled it up and I rode in the car and I was like, okay, this is good. You know, another issue is that the only places I listen to music are in the car or in the gym. And neither of those seem like chasing the devil atmosphere. Like I've tried to chasing the devil in the gym and it's not the wave. M-Bone said chasing the devil whole album fire emojis, but then he said Flesh and Bone, Fifth Dog, Let Loose, fire emojis. So see, I can't.
I'm finally in the club of the Call fan.
Your fire emoji opinion on chasing the devil. I just want you to know I put it with Fifth Dog, Let Loose, which I like, but it doesn't rank up very high in the grand scheme.
Yeah. There was a track I wanted to tell you that I didn't like, and I'm trying to remember what album it was from. And it's blasphemous, but I can't. I even tried to listen to it again, and I still can't get through the whole thing. What the heck was it? It's kind of like along the lines of So Amazing. Like, I like the chorus, but I can't get through the song. And it was another track. I'm looking around trying to remember what the heck it was, but I tried it again this weekend, and I just can't. I can't get through it. Oh, I know what it is. Actually, I was going to leave this for that question of the week we're supposed to do regarding Art of War. You know, to make the Art of War one disc.
We can still do
but
it.
It's freaking Seven Sign, the song, Majesty and Busy. I like it in sound bites, but when it plays, my mind phases out. Like, I don't stay actively connected to the track. It just, I start thinking of other things and I start doing other things. It's not that I don't like it. I just can't stay focused on it. Just like I can't stay focused on social studies. And I can't stay focused on So Amazing. My mind drifts off and thinks about other things. Even though I'm not like against these tracks. Oh no, social studies, I'm not into that. But these other two, it's not that I don't like them. I can't stay paying attention. My mind drifts off.
This is how I feel about the entire Chasing the Devil album.
Cloudy. I don't care about Cloudy at all. Like, I think I've heard the song in its entirety once.
That was
I don't
like
even think I got through the whole video. Yeah, that was the lead single. I don't even think I've seen the whole video.
Song sucked. Somebody fight me that song didn't suck. Who the fuck picked that as a single? Everything about it was bad. Even the single artwork sucked.
Well, let me just let you know, I didn't want to ruin your show. I waited till the end to just say, man, I listened to a whole shitload of DJ Quick all weekend, bro. I watched so many. I think I've seen every DJ Quick video. I seen ones that I didn't even know existed. Dude, Eazy-E is in 2 Penthouse Players Click videos. He's in PS Fuck You 2, which is PS Play You 2 for whatever reason, the clean version. And he's in the music video for the definition of a player or definition of a hustler. He's there playing cards. He's in a suit. He looks cool as shit. And he's playing like DJ Quick's at another table. And as an Eazy-E first fan, Bone came later. I can't believe I never seen both of these videos. And Eazy has a big role in the PS Fuck You 2 music video. He's like the chorus where he just kind of like talks Eazy-E stuff in between. But I never seen both of those videos, only because like those came out. I don't even know if they ever aired on TV. But Penthouse Players Click, for those that don't know, was like a super group. It was Player Ham and this other guy, but Eazy-E was technically part of it. It was part of Ruthless Records. DJ Quick was part of it. I think he was the producer, and Quick did it as like a favor to all the guys that like helped him like his body, like his human bodyguards, and all the people that brought him up through Born and Raised in Compton, the first album, and so Easy, Player Ham, DJ Quick, and one other guy. And there's a posse cut on it. It's all those guys I mentioned and AMG, and the name of the song is called, I can't believe I forgot it. Anyway, it's on that thing, and that's the reason I bought the album. Anyway, I've seen tons of videos, tons of Quick videos. DJ Quick is a gifted, like he is gifted, enriched. He's a different kind of person. His mind, he is smarter than everybody. He's a wasted mind.
What got you? What got you on this DJ Quick fucking kick?
I saw it showed up in my feed. It was Busy Bone and DJ Quick were doing all these promos. So like I'm tying it to Beyond the Harmony. I'm trying not to like go out of, but it literally was that Busy and Quick did all these promos together in 2010, 2011. And I'm like, well, that's crazy. And then Quick says, he's like, man, I've been wanting to do this with Busy Bone like my whole career. This dude is like one of the most genius rappers ever. And then so like seeing Quick again, just like it's kind of like remembering a lost love, you know what I'm saying? You start just thinking of how much DJ Quick had an impact on my youth, because I was a fan of his before Bone existed. And I seen this live performance. It's dope. It's Snoop Dogg and DJ Quick, and they do Tonight. And Snoop introduces it. He's like, yo, this is the guy before I came out. This was the guy I listened to. And when Quick is performing, like Snoop knew every lyric down, like everything, because he's just like right there with Quick, and the camera work is great. Daz is like in the back doing bodyguard work. But it was because of Quick and Busy that showed up in my feed. And then I was like, oh man, I started thinking about all the posse cuts that Quick, every album. So DJ Quick's album had a song called Scandalous. And then on High C's album, like they had a crew. It was DJ Quick, High C, AMG, Second to None, and Player Ham, which is like Penthouse Players Click. And every album they would do a posse cut. And they were cool posse cuts because like they were coming up in an era where we were trying to get away from the old school of like partying and transitioning into gangster rap. But like those songs were party, old school hip hop kind of tracks with like crowd participation type stuff. So I always thought it was a cool like throwback, even in 91, 92. And I just been going through all of it, just trying to remember it. Oh, and another good part is, and this is how I could bring it back to you guys. Were you ever fans of Sugar Free? Because Sugar Free and DJ Quick went on this like hiatus together, and I didn't realize, and I didn't, because I wasn't listening to rap really besides Bone and Tech Nine for like the last 20 years, right? So Quick and Sugar Free made like albums together. And then I also found out that Quick and Corrupt made a whole album together called Blackout with a K and a Q. And then DJ Quick and AMG made an album together called The Fixers. I didn't know about any of this. Like these are things that I wish would have happened. So like as Bone fans, you know, you're always like, man, I wish these like fantasy football things would happen. Well, with DJ Quick, he made all of our fantasies come true. An album with Corrupt, an album with AMG, full length. So that was great. And then on top of all that, then you end up listening to some AMG. Then you start thinking like, hey, man, Boss, she did the tracks with Crazy Bone, but she used to pretend that she was AMG's sister. So then I started watching all these Boss music videos, AMG music videos, High C music videos. So that's really interrupted my time to work on Beyond the Harmony. But I feel like DJ Quick has a deep connection to Bone. He did all that stuff with Busy in 2011. He did a song with Busy Bone that I don't even think I heard it. And I'm going to go back and through all my listening, I didn't even get around to that. And then also he did the Cypher. And if you look at Quick, if you look at the way he's dressed in the Dollars and Cents video and you turn the music down, you won't know if it's Quick or Crazy Bone. He's got, I swear Crazy wore the same exact outfit with the same exact hairstyle. And it's funny that Snoop and Quick are performing together because they kind of similar. If Snoop, Quick, and Crazy Bone ever took a photograph together, somebody please send that to me because that would be the funniest thing to see. Those three dudes right there are like, they're not clones. They don't look exactly like, but they have very similar styles. So yeah, so Quick is my honorary 7th member of Bone Thugs and Harmony. That dude, when I say he's gifted, I'm talking, this guy was rapping about things that he was like a real reporter, a real journalist. For his songs don't even, it's not even in the same genre of it as everybody else. So Quick is unsung, and I love the guy, and he's had a tremendous impact on my life. And I just want to give the guy heartbeat props and flowers while he's living. I love DJ Quick. I'm out.
Did you enjoy DJ Quick in the Trump robe for the cipher?
Yeah, well, yeah, and I I definitely saw the robe, and the excuse is that it was filmed at a Trump hotel. So I guess that's the walk away. But yeah, dog, that
Yo,
was dope.
John, cipher beat was a letdown. It's a good beat, but not amazing. Well, it's somebody else's beat.
Yeah, that's Dr. Dre, bro. You're hating on Dr. Dre and DOC. That beat is the formula by the DOC and Dr. Dre. And that album is a classic from front to back. If you could find even a split second on that album that's not good, let me know. And speaking of posse cuts, at the end of the DOC, No One Can Do It Better, produced by Dr. Dre, there's a song called The Grand Finale. And it's Ice Cube, the DOC, Eazy-E, MC Ren. I don't think Dre's got a verse on it, but that song was like the original posse cut to me. Like, to me, that's the posse cut that started the posse cut. I really think that song invented the genre, aside from like those old like Harris One type things and Kool Herc and all that Kumo D, like that era. But I mean, the official album posse cut, to me, begins with the grand finale at the end of that DOC album. And that song is phenomenal, bro. And but the formula, that beat is the formula, and it's one of my favorite beats of all time. So if Patrick didn't like, or who was it that didn't like the beat? If they didn't like it, that's cool, man. I love that beat.
Yeah, the beat was cool. It was cool. It was all right. I was in the same boat. Like, it's cool. I would have rather not. I would have rather they just came with something original for that. But you know what though? I didn't fucking love the cipher anyway. I thought the cipher was, at that time, ciphers was like a big thing, and the cipher was more us all standing together and like actually rapping it. It wasn't recorded. I thought we were gonna get Bone around a fucking barrel, like live rapping as the cipher is the way I thought it was gonna go. So that thing just didn't go the fucking way I thought it was gonna go.
But don't you like that it's in the history though? Like, I don't want to remove that from the history. I think it's dope that they did it.
It's dope they did it. I just wish they would have done it differently.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. Matt, you got anything else?
DJ Quick is good. DJ Quick is everything that's missing, and people don't appreciate him. Did you guys see BG Knockouts posted on Instagram? Shout out to Bone Thugs the other day.
I did not. Why did he shout out Bone Thugs?
Because he's smart.
Oh, I could tell you why. I think BG Knockout's trying to politic that he discovered Bone, that he was like the talent agent that discovered Bone.
You hit me with that, yeah.
What's his claim there?
He's saying that he was like Eazy-E's scout for talent, and that I don't remember. Like, I don't want to misquote BG Knockout, bro. So check out the Vlad interview. But he was saying that he scouted Bone and he was pushing for him, like pushing Eazy-E, like, hey man, these guys got the new sound, check them out. Like, he was co-signing Bone to Eazy, saying you got to put these guys on.
You can see why Bone is mad, bro. In all our time doing this, do you realize how many people we've heard try to take credit for? I'm the guy that fucking discovered these motherfuckers. Like, everybody is like, I'm the guy.
In season 5, it's going to be E40. Watch. That's my prediction.
Before season 5, we got to get through season 4. I told y'all we're working on it in the background. This was just some sort of Mo Monday mayhem of live fury with Cecil West. We got joined at the end with the rest of Beyond the Harmony. There's still time. You can hit that super chat button. You can head over to streamlabs.com/Beyond the Harmony, or you can get on Venmo. You can Venmo Matt Weaver, or you can hit the brand new Beyond the Harmony Cash App, $ Beyond the Harmony. It's been an incredible night. I'm really fucking tired. I did this all dolo until the end. I will just say, John, I know sometimes you feel like we do this show and you're like, yeah, man, I'm just riding your wave. But let me tell you, you have an important role that you don't even know you have when we're live, which is sometimes I need to do shit over here that's hectic, and I don't have time to talk, and I just need you to do it.
Wishbone Live. That's my role, man.
Yeah, bro. Hey, you the Wishbone of Beyond the Harmony.
I love it.
That's Lippy. Justin Mayo, what up, guys? You got here just in time to hear me close the showdown. Justin Mayo. Justin Mayo has the copy of the Graveyard Shift that I want. Justin, if you're out there and you're like, man, I'd really like to do something thoughtful for people, I think I'm gonna send Cecil West my copy of Graveyard Shift. You just let me know. I'll give you the address. I'll give you the address. This is Beyond the Harmony, beyondtheharmony.com. My name is Mr. Thursday Night Cecil West, rocking with the one and only
John Lippy.
And the king of BNN, the man with all the news, the one that knows it all, my sidekick.
I am Matthew Weaver.
My fucking sidekick. It's time. Phoenix Rising, bring us the fuck home, girl. It's been a long night. We out of here. Beyond the Harmony.